Okay. Start off with the question. This question is only pertaining to three of you. Those of you who are currently alive and not new characters who dis. How is your character? How is your character handling the death of two of their companions? This isn't even like Haldor, where you guys were only hanging out together for like maybe a week before he died. Y'all have been traveling together for quite a while now, pushing on like a few months now. Like survived quite a bit through with each other and everything. So I imagine there's at least some opinion on your guys' end.
Fix will probably be struggling to cope and trying to. I think struggling to cope will be a good description.
He's right there.
Yep.
There's only one cope.
Right.
You'll never struggle to me.
The plural was coping.
If there was a whole town of you, you'd be in Copenhagen.
Yep.
Do we ship them in boxing? Reach would be definitely sad to see Lucilla go, but whenever we break for camp, saying prayers to help her spirit pass on and hoping that whatever realm her soul rests in finds the adventure it's looking for.
Wow, that was deep.
This was her favorite party member.
And Gogmert.
Hey, you gonna eat that?
Chris, you definitely don't want to eat goblin.
If he died in bird form, does that mean he tastes like chicken?
No. Tastes like long pork.
Oh, that's right. Afixa killed him.
Yep.
Damn.
That's what I remember.
I forgot.
What about Emmanuel's opinion on the situation?
They had valiant death, and it wasn't him. So we'll find new party members. He only cares about himself.
I see that.
Well, I mean, you are all replaceable after all.
Indeed.
So
They
yeah,
weren't.
I don't concern myself with the fate of the poors.
Technically, they weren't in the employment of Multhune, so I do not have to pay for their funerals.
And I was looking at Emmanuel's character portrait, and just the expression on his face is kind of like that's the face he'd make when he delivers that news.
So yeah, last time you had made your way through Skull's Crossing, a ancient dam built with the homage of skulls decorating pretty much every square inch of the walls of the thing, as well as a central building on top. As you were approaching, you had pre-warned information about Nualia being up there, as well as her wizard accomplice Lyrie and a cadre of ogres. You went up there, dispatched them. The ogres had no chance. The wizard tried to escape, only to be met with an arrow over water, which prompted Reach to go wizard diving.
Yes.
And Afixa mounted on top of a bird mert, chased after Nualia, who was trying to make her escape. Engaging with her before she could escape, seeing the only way out.
Family aggro.
Anyway, yeah. Sorry. Having no other way out, she attempted to dispatch Gogmar by cutting him down so Afixa would fall as well, which did succeed, though in the process Afixa latched onto her boot and was able, well, not even boot, like clawed leg, or foot rather, and dispatched her as well, following the process. But when she recovered, realizing Gogmar was dead and bled out on the ground.
Would you say Affix found her Achilles heel?
Yes. From there, you made your way inside of the building, dispatched some trolls, found out about a wet daddy Grizzle, which hurt pretty bad, but luckily no one died to there, so we don't have to make a meme of that for the rest of our time playing together.
Too late.
Hey, no one died to it, so it will eventually fade into obscurity.
Yeah, and no one died to Queef Island, and I can't live that down.
We never even went there, I don't think.
No, you usually don't forget a queef.
What was much more of a damning situation is when you went into the area with the floodgate controls, you encountered a Skull Ripper,
I see what
a
you did.
large construct which, as its name suggests, is very violent in the way it dispatches a foe, grabbing it in their claws and making an attempt to behead the creature. You managed to narrowly stop it from beheading I already forgot her name. Lucilla. Before dispatching it, but though in the process you realized that Lucilla did lay dead in his grasp. You finished off your exploration into the central chamber where you saw a pit fiend that was being used to power the dam's contraptions to open and shut the dam whenever the flood was raising a certain height. You summoned a creature to activate the other side of it. Heedless of its pleading for you to stop, eventually taking the summoned creature and it to dust. The dam opened up, the floodgates spilled free, averting a potential disaster of the dam breaking any further than it already has, and most likely saving Turtleback Ferry. And to a larger extent, any other riverside city that from here all the way to almost reaching Magnamar, as the chance of having a catastrophic failure of a dam this size would reach quite far.
Mm-hmm.
Nevertheless, you gather your dead allies as you kind of, even without them, you're also fairly hurt for the lot of you. You managed to make your retreat, which I imagine closest place to of for safety would be Fort Rannoch. So I imagine you would go back there unless you have other ideas.
Yeah, that is the closest. Even looking at the map, we'd have to double back a little.
You have to go back down this direction, yeah. You're out here, but you don't really have any other direction where you're looking to go towards other than. But yeah, going here and going up, it would take the rest of your day to get back to Fort Rannoch. But definitely closer than Turtleback Ferry, which would probably you wouldn't be able to reach by nightfall. Any conversation going through the group of you as you're carrying your friends' bodies, probably on horseback, because I know you did have some accommodations for that.
Yeah, we'd wrap up their bodies and put them over their old horses.
And getting them down the steps that we had to go up's the hardest part.
Watch the head. Ooh, thunk, 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 thunk.
Yeah, maybe we should have tied them to Juan instead of having him drag them.
Gogmar and Lucilla weigh like 15 pounds each.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, neither of you are going to have trouble, and none of you are really going to have trouble except for maybe Affix because of the size.
Yeah.
Carrying the bodies. And as Reese pointed out before, you do have a number of those amulets, the Sea Hedron medallions that allow you to preserve a body as by hanging this over the neck. It preserves their corpse as is the God. I can't remember the name of the spell right now.
It says false life.
Well, it has false life, but
gentle repose.
Gentle repose if they're dead. So you don't have to worry about their bodies decomposing. Good news is you also have an extra one you could put in Affix's old body.
Oh yeah, forgot about those.
Yeah, we kind of remembered them at the very end of last session of this.
Yep.
I just have a mental image of someone who keeps dying and reincarnating themselves, and then you just walk in their house and they have like a tea party with all their own dead bodies. Just deeply disturbing.
So as you make your way back to Fort Rannoch, you're greeted to the side of not really perfectly restored walls. They've used like piles of the rubble to kind of block over the holes that had been created. Wooden boards where they can. Definitely more defensible than you last saw it, but it's only been maybe a handful of days, so they've worked with what they had. As you're approaching, you see Vale, the bald-headed, dark-skinned Shoanti, wave you all down as he sees you all coming. Probably noticing that there's a little bit less of you, but makes his way down to greet you all. As he approaches, he's cheerful and smiley like he normally is, but as he's coming, he does, without having to roll, be able to see the body slumped over the horses. Oh, I see you're bringing bad news then.
Well, good and bad. It was a very tough battle, and 2 of our group went down, but we were able to save the dam.
He kind of cocks an eyebrow at that because out of character, nobody told Fort Rannoch about the dam.
He's complicated on that front too.
But yeah, he lets you. He's like, "Well, please come. We've had some recent visitors that might know something about going-ons of Sanos Forest. We're hoping they might be able to have some insight in the Shimmer towards the Shimmer Glens of what's been going on with the Fae there, as maybe they might have seen our commander of any kind, but or lead us to where he might be. Either way, come on. They're with Shalelu and Jakardos. And he leads you all in, and they head up to a familiar room. It's a room that Afixa knows very well, as her eyes closed eternally, only to be rewoken in a separate room. But this is the room where Afixa had died. It is the command center of the fort. Probably not a welcome place for Afixa to be in.
Fix tries not to notice the lingering bloodstains on the floor.
No, of course not. They definitely cleaned all of those.
She still sees them.
It's in her head.
Yep.
But yeah, you see Shalelu and Jakardos on the backside of the table towards the wall, kind of opposite of the door that you're entering through, as they acknowledge you coming in. And it's like, well met. I'd like you to introduce you two. And he holds up his hand to the 2 new players, if you would like to describe yourselves.
All right, who wants to go first, Michael?
Yeah, I don't care. I can if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so amongst the 2 figures standing before you, you see a well, he could be better looking, but he's got a very smug grin on his face, and he looks like a smooth talking kind of guy. He has very I wouldn't say very long, but sort of medium neck length hair that he has swooped back, and a goatee. And he looks at you guys kind of perplexed. On him, you don't see any weapons, but you do see that he has a very nice lute that he pretty much has out at all times. And off of his belt are a couple of magic wands that you'd be able to recognize. Other than that, he looks like your pretty typical bard, battle poet, whatever you would want to call it.
I'll go ahead and reveal his picture there.
Fine looking fellow.
Yeah, it's very bardic.
Yep.
And am I good for my introduction there?
Sounds good.
Next to him is a significantly different looking fellow, much shorter, as he is in fact a dwarf, with long shoulder length black hair and a long beard that goes down his chest. However, his beard is not like braided or in pleats or any of the usual dwarven style. It's scruffy and a little bit dirty and on the ill-kempt side. He is not wearing any clothes besides just some like stitched together wolf pelts and like a kilt made out of fur. He's got no weapons, but you can tell that he is quite physically strong and muscular, as you can see some of his arms and legs that have lots of little scars across them through just rugged living. The other thing you definitively notice about him is a smell. He doesn't smell bad per se, but he only ever really bathes in rivers or in the rain and never uses soap. So he smells very, very earthy.
It's not good to be short.
But yeah, as you see these two individuals before, he's like, these are the fellows Pledrum and Gork. They have come recently from Santos Forest after they dispatched what was it now? As he kind of looks to the two of you.
Are we sitting down at a table?
You could be sitting or standing at the table, but yeah, there's like a table that you're kind of around.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a war table, like war room table.
Gork was sitting at a chair, and as he asked that question, he just goes, nope, can't do it. And he just stands up from the chair and he just kicks it over. It just doesn't feel right. What was that thing, Pledrum? Was it freaky thing?
The dwarf we met. You mean the Sasquatch?
No, I think they mean the thing after that. That was the smelly thing that attacked the bear. No, we fought it in like that cave. Booger something.
The Booger Man.
Right, yeah. That. Booger Man.
Yes.
Fix is just kind of looking around, seeing if there's any sign that they've been drinking, because she is pretty convinced that they're sloshed at this point.
Anyone else giving a side glance to Fix, like, is this a comedy team? Or...
I mean, do you guys want to do a sense motive?
Yeah. Not too good
These
at it.
are Black Arrow, yes? Look for your boss.
These are newcomers, not exactly Black Arrows. We have met Gork in the past. He's a wild man from the Ashwood across the way. Gork, you would know that the Black Arrows have dealt with you before. They're very much rangers a lot, so they've seen you and they've treated with you.
These fucking two legs keep wandering into my territory.
Yep.
I will say, Emmanuel, with that 22, you probably look at Gork and you have the horrible realization that despite the fact that he's a dwarf, he's never had a drop of alcohol in his entire life.
No soap, no alcohol. This man is not living right.
But
Uncultured.
But yes, to the point, they have been active in the region, following a booger man, from what they call it. But
Boogeyman?
That's it. It was right on the tip of my tongue. You got a head on your shoulders, huh?
I feel like the two are vastly different, but good to know.
It's dead all the same.
You said this was in the Sanos Forest?
I mean, kinda. There was like a portal involved, and it's dead.
Is the portal still open?
I just shrugged.
Jakarta kind of interrupts saying the Sanos Forest has been known to house creatures of the Fey variety, more particularly closer to where you get to the Shimmer Glens, the swamplands to the northeast of it. To the point, I was looking to and possibly hire Pledrum and Gork to investigate the Shimmer Glens and look for our former commander. Though with a lot of you returning, it could bode well that maybe if you could find them, he is probably the most likely to know how to get to the ogre's home. They have a base nearby somewhere up in the mountains to the west of Skull's Crossing somewhere, but we have yet to been able to find it. But if anyone can find it, it would probably be him.
He's a good tracker then?
The best we have. I think he would have found it sooner if it hadn't been for the fact that he would have had to been worried about the rest of us dying if we had assaulted an ogre's base.
Mm-hmm.
So now you want to hire us, I assume.
I mean, pay could be involved. I already have. I've received word that Magnemar is sending soldiers as well as money to replenish our reserves. I'll be more than happy to pay all of you.
Oh, great! More 2 legs, just what we need.
Would be good, yes.
I can offer you all about,
if that makes a difference.
I can offer you all like 2,000 gold apiece if you can figure out where our commander goes, and at the same time, see if you can dispatch the ogres. I do not know if they're going to remobilize from what we've seen, but I'd rather nip it in the bud if we can.
These ogres have definitely been problematic.
Much more active than they've ever been, and I'm concerned of what might have caused this.
Yes.
Although, you may want to keep an... Have you been to the dam before?
Not in a while, but we have been there before.
Seems the power supply is gone.
Yes. Is what I meant by it's complicated about the dam.
So we're able to get it operational long enough to, stop it from breaking, but as far as I could tell, it's probably not operational until something is sacrificed in there to power it.
Yes. Not seem like you go up there often, what with trolls and ogres.
Yes, I'm afraid the Skull Taker tribe of trolls up there have kept it rather occupied. Though if you've been there, you've seen them, and knowing a lot of you have probably gotten rid of them by now.
Yeah, we cleared it out, so whenever reinforcements come, it might not be a bad idea to try to hold it and figure out if you get it to reliably work, because we nearly lost Turtleback Ferry just the other day. Both from the flooding and from the creature that came out of the lake.
Have a plan. Could bring people to watch, yes?
I mean, if you have a way to get more people to help, I'm all ears.
Well, tribe always looking for new territory. Seemed like no one used them, and we clean it out for you.
He kind of thinks for a moment. And your people aren't violent towards humans or anything, right? we have concerns with giants. We don't really need to, no offense, have a bunch of rampaging lizard folk on our heels as well.
I liked Rich's
Not the-
silence.
Not the rampage, but if 312, 312. So,
Well, I'll tell you this: I'm not saying no at the moment, and we could use all the resources we can get up here. And if your people are fine with managing the dam, that seems like an okay prospect to me. We'll have to see how things go with the ogres at the moment, though.
yes.
This is preliminary. It depends on what the commander says if we can retrieve him. He is still technically in command unless he is sadly dispatched.
We'll find him and give him all the more reason to be interested in such a favor.
So first order business, find commander, then deal with ogres, yes?
That would be the preferable option, as you're going to have, unless one of you is an amazing tracker, the best bet is going to try to find a better one.
Well, you know what they say. Nothing escapes the keen eyes of a bard.
Sidelong glance from Gork. Yeah.
I don't think I've heard that one before.
Oh, it's a regional saying.
Oh, okay.
Shalelu kind of like leans down to you, Afixa.
Mhm.
She's like, they're kind of an acquired taste, but from what I can tell, they seem to do good work. Take them with a grain of salt, though.
It's a regional saying.
What the region?
To the
Oh, the
north.
one I'm from.
Yes.
I imagine with that bluff, he's pretty convincing. I mean, damn, it's a 38.
Gogbert came back from the dead just to say so.
Yes.
Well, I guess we ought to burn our bodies. Not yours. Not the one you're in now. Your old, well, not your old one, but the other two that we just made.
What, burning dead bodies? What, you got something against the buzzards? Big crap on your face or something?
Imagine Melsha like that, but no hobbit burial traditions, yes?
I don't know them.
I only caught like half of those words. Fucking G lizards. Anyway, if you were all wanting to look at the Shimmer Glens, I'll guide you, I guess. It's better than having a bunch of two legs wandering around, getting lost and soiling themselves. I know what you're all like. You'll just get panicked and tired and then starve. Not know how to feed yourself.
Manuel's going to look at Vale or Jakardos and Shale, or the other leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so I'm confused. Are you still going to hire them, even though we're back and can do it for you?
We're willing to pay the lot of you. Especially with the ogre situation, you're going to need some more help, especially as you recently, I'm afraid, kind of looks over at the two small shrouded bodies. Lost a couple of your own. You could do with some reinforcements.
That's true. We could definitely use some more men, and you look like you can handle yourselves, Gork and Pledrum. Could we stay the night, though? Perhaps clean up, take care of our dead, our wounds, and take baths?
Of course, take as long as you need. We have some rooms downstairs on the first floor that we've mostly cleaned up, so the beds are functional and there isn't blood stains everywhere, so that's about as good as you're going to get at the moment.
Perfect. And do you have any soap we could borrow?
I imagine we can find some, yes. The ogres usually stayed away from those, so they're rather untouched.
Gork, there's plenty of time before we head out if you'd like to take a bath.
Oh, don't bother. I'm pretty sure he licks himself clean.
You don't?
We'll be locking along the river. I'll take care of it then.
Well, fix us. Should we take them outside and build a funeral pyre? Pyre? Why can't I say that word?
Yeah. Did they ever tell you any preferred final departures, or?
Yes, they asked for a funeral pyre.
I'm gonna need a bluff check.
Yep, here you go.
I will have you know that Lucilla very explicitly said she wanted to be buried by having an ancient temple collapse on her.
Yeah, we're fresh out of those.
Yep.
We were halfway there if we would just let the dam fall.
Yeah.
Well, look,
Manuel is definitely just trying
maybe
to
she
cut
didn't
the
say
thing
that,
short.
but I feel like, Aristill was pretty close to her spirit, the way she acted, and that's an acceptable way to be interned. As for Gogmer, I really don't know what they do.
I would say you guys would know at this point. Goblins and fire are probably a good mix anyway,
Yeah.
so funeral pyre for him would probably be fine.
Yeah.
I feel perhaps let's leave the medallion on her, and we'll take her back with my body and figure out what to do from there.
Okay.
I mean, we do have ruins underneath Sandpoint.
Collapse apart the town burying a halfling.
Ooh, wasn't there ruins on the island too?
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
And
neon
haven't we
ruins.
found a ruined temple under every city we've gone to at this point?
Yeah, to be fair,
I'm pretty sure Turtlebacks got it.
Varesia is like 45% ancient ruin.
Yeah, it's why most of the first edition stuff was based in Varesian areas.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's basically just Europe. There's a fucking forbidden hidden tomb or city underneath every city.
Yep.
Everything, yeah.
One city sinks, they build a new one on top of it, and all of a sudden the bottom city became evil and decrepit.
Yep.
What's wrong with the sewer? I think parts from the crypt are blocking it up again.
Yep.
There's a crypt under your house?
Why'd you say crypt as in it's singular?
Yeah.
So you are able to take some time to heal up, and how many days you want to stay here, just let me know. I think some of you are still hurt. I think Juan's still missing some ability energy drain, but I'm not sure if you have the ability to recover that yet.
Oh, did we roll for that?
No, we already rolled. It's permanent until you cast something to remove it.
Okay.
Yeah, I do clearly remember we had rolled on it to see if it was permanent.
Yeah.
And you failed, and it was permanent.
Yeah. I'm going to ask any of the black arrows if they have the ability to remove it. What do I need?
Lesser Restro or better, and I think it costs a bit.
I might have lesser.
I thought you had to have restoration, not lesser restoration.
I'll pull it up.
I've got lesser restoration, and I'm an idiot if that's all it takes to fix it.
Let's see. Restoration replaces cures one permanent negative level. Lesser does ability damage, but yeah, you need restoration. You don't.
Okay.
And that's
What
worth
level
like
is that?
100 gold. I mean.
Yeah, I was thinking ability damage, and yeah, it's for negative levels, it's 1,000 gold pieces
Oh wow, yeah. So
per negative level, because it
Per
can't be used to dispel more than one.
So I will chip away at that goddamn snake if it kills me, dude. I already took away 2 of its levels.
Yeah, 4th level there.
Oh no, it's a crypt full of vampire spawn, and they all only target Juan.
Yeah. So yeah. If you guys need to take time to do anything while you're here, just let me know. Or if you're just healing up, let me know how many days it's going to take you if you're not using spells or whatnot.
Yeah. If we're planning to stay more than one day, I'll probably repay the favor by enchanting a few other lanterns with continual flame, because I can do it for free.
Yeah, I'm out of healing spells for the day. We don't have a wand anymore. So we just gotta at least spend one night, maybe two. That way I'd be able to
Heal up fully.
Yeah, heal up and cast spells, and then be able to start out the next day with fresh spells.
There's your tokens for your characters, by the way.
How much do you heal after sleep in Pathfinder?
Level plus con is what we do. I think the official rule is just level. But I know after like a day and then a couple spells, I know Emmanuel would probably be up to full. And I think Afixa is pretty well off. She healed herself last time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just 1 hit point shy, so put me back full.
And yeah, the sleep here isn't exactly peaceful, but it's cold but it's manageable. Definitely feels like the warmth and homeliness of this fort hasn't really returned since you guys have recovered it.
Like castles.
No, I was on like 2 hit points shy.
Okay. Well, Emmanuel's back up, so if we want to strike out today, I only had to use 2 healing spells.
So, Emmanuel, tell me, where are you from? You haven't mentioned it.
Oh, pardon my manners. I was a bit taken back from, the death of my companions, and my name is Emmanuel. Emmanuel Depardieu.
Is this
from
in front of
Morphine.
Is this in front of everyone?
Yes.
When you say your last name, I immediately full force punch you in the stomach.
Roll damage.
Okay.
Oh, that has some extra emphasis to it this time.
6 damage.
Right.
Non-lethal. Non-lethal.
Right. What?
Jeez.
What was that for?
You were choking.
What are you talking about? I haven't been eating at all.
I just saved your life, he-human. Show some gratitude.
This man must be off his gourd. Oh. Well, I will kindly ask you not to strike me anymore. As I was saying, my name is Emmanuel Depardieu from Morthune.
I like to think he kind of winces away just in case. Just like a Pavlovian response at this point.
I'm going to condition him.
He did kind of step back a little bit.
Yep.
End of this campaign, he's going to start calling himself Emmanuel Depardo.
Every time he goes to a family gathering, he's just going to get like panic attack.
And what about you, Pledrum?
Well, I'm Varisian. I was originally a part of a roving band, but then I decided the best bards find their own tales to write about. And so I set out on a quest for adventure and came across my good, you could say companion, Gork here.
Well, all that didn't work out very well for our last bard.
He was living among the wild things, bears and wolverines. And I managed to tame him and bring him to civilization.
That explains the smell. Not you, of course.
Of course, we're taking baby steps with the smell.
We are on the edge of a mountain. You do know I could throw you down that, Pledger.
With arms like that, I believe it.
Interrupting the roleplay for a second. How great would it be if Emmanuel does eventually lose one and he replaces it with a bear?
Just Gork.
Yes.
So are giant snakes native to your land, Mothun?
Not native around here.
I don't know if they were native originally, but we've raised and trained many, many generations of them now as our prized riding snakes. Most of the leadership of Mothun, at least from my Lord General Father's army, ride into battle upon them. It's a great honor. My daddy gave me one.
It's a great honor. Of course, I was just given one.
Gork murmurs to Pledgem. By the forest, he makes you look like me.
Well, I sure hope that's not the case.
I bet he doesn't even know the edible moths apart from the inedible ones.
Yeah, I know.
At the silence, Fix would chime in. I'm a Fix. In a past life, I was from Sandpoint until goblins attacked. Now I'm just following where the adventure takes me. This is Felix, and she would hold up the black cat, and then bring him back to his chest and start putting it. He's been with us for a little while now, before we made it to the dam.
Yes, you know me. I am Felix.
Yeah.
Lord, I forgot about you. I thought that was a bad dream.
Rick and Morty, Mr. Poopy Butthole. I have always been adventuring with you. It is me, your companion, Felix.
I loved that end of the episode plot twist.
It was so good.
Where it's all like he wants to say he's sorry you don't have any bad memories.
I love that.
Yeah. I take a step forward and take a big sniff of the cat.
Smells reptilian.
Yeah, that's not a cat.
It's not for eating.
When you say that, it sniffs you back like, not quite dwarf.
Yep.
Indeed.
I think I sense a budding bromance.
I pick up the cat and I throw it off the castle.
We're not going to be able to take this guy anywhere.
And then begins him trying to throw the cat. The cat digs his claws deeper into its hand.
Yeah.
Then he turns around, the cat's just sitting there on the floor.
Throws the cat. It's on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Trick's on you. He lands on his feet all the time.
He lands on your feet. And this is our companion, Rishpa.
He's of Scytheclaw tribe from, I believe you call Mushfiends to the south.
We found him in the marshlands down near Magnum. Crap, what was that first town?
Sandpoint.
Sandpoint.
Emmanuel, I'm not a very intelligent man, but even I can tell this is a lady lizard folk.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's
What?
a she lizard.
What?
This entire time, Emmanuel thought Reese was a boy.
I did not realize. My apologies, Rish.
He's fine, yes.
Out of characters, how many times has Emmanuel inadvertently gotten naked in front of her under that assumption?
Oh God, he may pass out thinking about that.
Oh God, you touched me that one time.
So we set off, look for Black Arrow Boss.
Sounds like the next big thing we need to do.
Did
Did we burn Gogmert?
Yeah, I think we'd make sure to have a funeral pyre for Gogmert, but
Do we? Every item we gave Gogmert, he gave back to his clan, right? Magic
Yeah,
stuff.
except for like the scarab and that. I know he looted some stuff, but
Oh yeah, I forgot to put Lucilla's stuff in the chat. I can do that after the game.
Yeah.
Just a few attribute-based things, and then the bag of holding, of course.
And then the
Plus-
3 daggers.
The 3 daggers and the blink back belt.
Yeah, mostly the big thing was the spear. The other goblins.
So as we are preparing them for the pyre, or preparing him for the pyre, I keep wanting to burn Lucilla. And we're, take the spear off of him, and if someone brings up any of the other items that we had given him, Emmanuel will admit at this point, well, there's nothing else to worry about burning, because everything that he took as loot from our adventures, he always went and gave back to his goblin friends. And he would always take me there with him, and I don't know, to show how great I am or something, or that he was good because he was my friend. I don't know. It was very strange.
yeah, very strange, yes.
What was that?
Melgak, very strange, yes. He take
was.
you. Maybe he say you work for him to rest of tribe, but
That's absurd. When would a man like me ever work for a goblin? They wouldn't believe that.
he make you do anything silly?
I don't remember. Out of character, I don't remember. Did he have me tell stories or something?
I imagine it was just having a man
Yes,
be
he
Emmanuel.
made you tell stories.
No, he just asked me to recount some of my brilliant heroics in story format.
Sometimes he would ask you to dance too.
I do recall he wanted me to show them some of the classical Malthunian state court dances.
What does that look like?
Like this. Manuel shows you the box step.
Proceeds to do the hokey pokey.
I imagine he's doing this dance in the courtyard while building the funeral pile, and there's just Gork and Pledrum off to the side, and Gork just says to Pledrum, I think they're going to last even shorter than the last group.
He's surprising that he is not one that is being pyre. Sitting cross-legged in a circle of those candles from forever ago.
A word of wisdom to you, Gork. It's always good to have a group of friends that you can run faster than.
He's a good idea, yes. But he's snake fairly fast.
That's why I have you around, Pledrum. I can run faster than you.
Fix looks
You
down
just
at her
can't.
short.
You know you just can't.
You know I can.
Fix looks down at her short legs and remembers. I remember when I could run fast.
So we get the zoomed out shot of the funeral pyre, and we see the silhouette of Gork and Pledrum racing.
Funeral games. Interesting custom. I've heard of it before.
Yeah, after that funeral / race.
That's what he always would have wanted.
Indeed. Gogmer already knew that his death would end in a race war.
Nice.
That was pretty good.
But yeah, you do indeed head out to head toward the Shimmer Glens. Heading out, it takes you the better part of the day to get to Turtleback Ferry. Having dispatched a large amount of the ogres in the general vicinity, as well as the ogrekin from a while ago now. The roads themselves are relatively safe.
I check for tracks just in case.
The town is no longer experimenting with amphibiousness.
It's still pretty damaged from the flooding when you arrive. They're doing their best to use of what they have and try to clean out what they can slowly. But it's very mucky. So it's at this point that you get to here that you do actually have a choice. You could go take the path up to Bitter Hollow and then walk your way down the Shimmer Glens, which you have to be one. It is very deep water. They would have informed you at Fort Rannick of what it is. Your best bet to get through the Shimmer Glens is to go by small canoe or raft. As the water itself goes down, it's a good 5 to 6 feet deep in most places.
Yes.
So there are dry spots and stuff that are shallower, but by not going by boat, you're going to have to take some extra time to kind of skirt around the deeper portions. So you could go northward and try to get a raft from Bitter Hollow and go down there, or you could try to find somebody at Turtleback Ferry that might have something.
And we know there's at least one canoe because we rescued the children out of it.
Mm-hmm.
We got past through Turtleback anyways, if the on the path. So,
and we do need to let them know that we saved their lives again by saving the dam.
We could always drop Lucilla off there, and so me and her could hang out again.
Pose them in an awkward high five.
That's what she was wanted. She refers to herself.
But yeah, you can go to the church, and the priest, Malin Shreed, would have Affix's body still kind of not in tune, but laid to rest in the mausoleum area of the church. And they would accommodate the body, and they're very happy over the situation of the dam being resolved and not having to worry about another situation like before. Gork and Pledrum, though, when you kind of enter the town, you do notice that the three of them are getting some surprising amount of accolades. When they're graded kind of local celebrities, which I'm not sure if it would come as a shock to Gork simply because you haven't been in town that often. But you've never seen the people you've met from the town act like this when people arrive. So
I see. Some random two-legs kill a couple of ogres, and they're all celebrated. And I just, scare a few children out of the forest, and they tell scary stories about me for generations.
And that sounds like actually a pretty cool reputation.
Yeah, you do see.
I know. I'm very proud.
You do see a couple farmers kind of walking through the town. They kind of they turn to greet you, and then they turn back to continue walking, but they kind of stop mid-track and do that slow head turn towards Gork before quickening their pace and hurrying back on.
We also help with when Waters tried to take town.
I thought the town looked better.
And has the flooding receded then?
Yeah, the town itself is relatively unflooded now, though the flooding has caused a lot of the water to soak into the soil. So the second half of the town is still very muddy and sludgy to walk through.
That's why I say it looks better. Nature's reclaiming it.
But yeah, there would be somebody who could. There's a couple boats that are still in use that they wouldn't even bat an eye if you wish to sail over towards the Shimmer Glens, and they have a spare little dinghy that they can pull beside them and let you guys take into the Shimmer Glens.
I don't like boats. Can't track anything on the lake.
Well, then I'm sure you're free to swim, Gork.
It can take a long way, but we going by boat, I guess.
I mean, it's up to you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, in character, it is shorter. And we're going to need to navigate water in the marsh anyway. I mean, the Rish can swim, but he's a long way.
Because they're just going around like that, right?
Yeah.
And these rivers here are just like normal height rivers. They're nothing special about them.
Yeah, they're deep enough where you would have to like swim across, and the current is still a current, but it's not nearly as bad as like the current was before the flooding stopped.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem with me for reasons.
Come on, you're telling me a bit of water is the thing that gets Gork's goat?
No,
Sounds like he's not afraid of the water.
it's the boat on the water. It's not right. I'm not a
I mean,
log.
at least there's no smoke on the water. Down.
I mean, you could just think of it as a. Have you ever seen a leaf fall in the water?
No, I've been blind my entire life. Human. What do you think?
Well, just think of this as a leaf floating on top of the water, and you're an ant.
Do I look like a leaf to you?
No, you're an ant in this analogy. If an ant climbs on top of a leaf that's in the water, it's like they're riding on a natural boat. This could be your leaf, and you could be an ant.
Ants can hold their breath for 20 hours. They don't need to use a leaf. Have you ever gone outside?
Did you test that personally?
Think about it, Gork. Worst case scenario, we crash and the boat's not a problem anymore.
Fine. But what happens is on you.
Cute Gork sitting in the boat sulking.
Are we just smash cutting to the boat?
Unless you have any things you want to do.
Smash cut, cartoon seagull noise.
As soon as we're like away from the shore and out on the lake, Gork's head is over the side of the boat and he's just vomiting his guts out. A consistent character trait is that Gork gets horribly seasick on any kind of boat. I will voluntarily give myself the sicken and nauseated condition on any watercraft that we are ever on in this campaign.
Fair enough.
You should be concerned about that, yes?
It happens to some people. They haven't been out enough.
I mean, he's going to bring in fish, if nothing else, but...
I ate that a week ago.
Yeah, you do see little fish beginning to eat the little chunks that have been coming out of Gork.
See? Maybe it's good for bait for him. Yes, we keep that in mind.
But yeah, I imagine you wouldn't have set out directly. You would have taken some time to gather anything you might need. So if you have anything that you want to grab in the town, they have the basic general goods. But otherwise, just let me know and we can start your adventure into the Shimmerglands.
Was this one of the towns where the weaponsmith was competent enough to move enchantments?
There is, yes. It just takes a couple days.
Oh, we're not going to hang around that long.
I mean, you can. You just have to let me know.
Could I leave the bow that has the enchantment with him right now, and then when we get back, we can I can give him the other one, and we can stay a day. Say he can be working on the first
I
one.
can work with that. He's basically working on the one to get it prepared for the.
Yeah.
So also, yeah, you can leave the one there, and it'll cut down the time. So.
Okay, cool.
But otherwise, you set off unless I'm mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
The boat takes you towards the edge of the Shimmerglands down to around here. Before kind of lowering you guys into the smaller boat to it's been kind of carrying to the side of it. It has enough room for the group of you with like your travel supplies and bags, but really not much else.
The snake?
The snake can fit on, though it is very uncomfortable. You kind of have to. Doesn't the one have a swim speed? Couldn't he
Yeah, I was gonna say, couldn't the snake just swim beside us if he has a swim speed?
He would definitely prefer to do that if we're going into the marsh. He likes to get wet. Gork, you can.
There's some jokes in there that I want to make, but I can't think of a good one right now.
Just think of basic.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Right into that one.
You all kind of load up into the smaller craft, and it comes with like a single ore that you kind of use. You gotta dig into the swamp, and actually, rather than just paddling, a lot of it's also like pushing it through like the muck of the swamp. Like it's like that kind of water that has like a lot of fibrous material that you're actually like pushing against when you're paddling.
Mm-hmm.
Though I imagine
Well-
Gork's not the one paddling since he's still probably sick.
Well, while you, my
No,
compatriots,
no, we just
that,
point him
I
off
will.
the back of the boat.
While you, my compatriots, do that, I will cheer you on with a song from the heart.
Once we get into the actual like swampy part of the Shimmer Glens, Gork gets better, but open water, even a lake, is not great for him.
Mhm.
Well, Gork, we are in the more of a marsh now. You can kind of think of it as solid ground, and if you put your mind to a task and paddle us along, it'll probably take your mind off of the boat.
I will break your nose in 3 places if you keep patronizing me, human.
Or a fixa if you want to paddle, that'd be fine.
I'll try. I'm not the
Do you
strongest.
think you can do it in your new form?
Paddle?
Yes.
Not well.
Hmm.
She'll take the oar and probably much like handing it to a child. It's just like,
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't go well with a fixer doing it.
mm-mm.
Rich, do you know how to paddle?
Yes.
I mean, I'm carrying my weight, but unfortunately, that's very little now.
Apparently have been only one for until handed to a fixer. Might even be faster if we get out and push.
Regardless of how you move the boat, eventually it does get moving. And the swamps themselves do begin to grow more tangled and densely packed as you travel inward, away from the edge of the swamp. The narrow channels of water kind of trail around these massive, like, multi-branch, like, not branch, but like, when the roots are above the water and they kind of like look like fingers reaching in on the sides.
Mangroves.
Mangroves.
Yeah.
Yeah, like big mangroves all around. The water itself goes from the clear blue of the clay bottom lake to dingy green with deeper pockets inside that kind of just fade into like a greenish black. You begin to paddle, looking for any signs of life or this person you were supposed to be looking for. And
Sorry, go ahead. I know you had more.
no, you can go ahead first. I was gonna have ask a question.
So, Pledrum and Gork, where is it we're supposed to be heading?
Well, what was it that the 2 legs up of the fort said that their leader went to see some soggy harlot or something around here?
Yes, that's what we understood. But didn't y'all find a portal of some sort?
I was deeper in the forest.
Is that what we're supposed to be going for?
I mean, if he is through that, then he's probably gone, like the others.
I will say, based on just the memories of maybe not a manual, but Reach and Afixa would probably remember. They did mention someone named Miriana in the White Willow area of Shimmer Glens.
I think we should check White Willow. I mean, if anybody might have seen him, that's probably the best place to look, nearest the forest.
That's where his lady friend was, right?
I believe so.
Then to White Willow we shall go.
And with that, I will like whoever wants to roll me a survival as you're trying to navigate through the Shimmer Glens.
I got this.
I got it.
23 and then a +7 to avoid getting lost, find travel, predict weather, and a +4 to track if it's a separate thing. I'm very good at survival.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to travel through with very little effort on your part. Even when it's not your, for lack of a better term, favorite terrain. You're experienced with wildlife, even the more Fey touched.
Oh yeah.
But what you're not prepared for is you travel farther into where you know of the White Willow area. You begin to see changes, subtle at first, before beginning to get more pronounced as you travel. You see these mangroves go from their typical design and appearance to twisted black trees that begin to rise wretchedly from shallow pools. Their arthritic branches curled into what looks almost like tortured claws. The sun itself seems to almost scorn the place, and you see a dark, cold mist that looms within this bone-bare canopy. The rain itself that you've been experiencing, that's pretty much been ongoing for the past month and a half, has stopped here as you see only the mist.
Very ominous.
Gork, you haven't been here, but you know of the White Willow. Was supposed to have been a beautiful place of ivory trees, but the trees here have gone completely dark. It's like almost the land itself is dying.
Mama Black Claws told me about these kind of things. Dark magic hangs over this place. I can practically taste it in the water.
Probably shouldn't be drinking the water.
To taste it, not drink it. If you don't know the difference, then you probably should be already dead if you weren't hiding in a city.
Too soon.
I don't know your history.
Right? She still says that.
Can I have everyone roll me a perception, by the way?
I'm excited about
Of
this.
course you can, Richard. Nothing as keen as the eyes of a bard.
You still got higher than a Fixa.
I mean, they have almost the same modifier, practically. So yeah, Gork, Emmanuel, you're the first two that notice it as you are paddling. You kind of hear what sounds almost like a high-pitched whine from behind you. And you're like, you think at first it sounds like you just have like a fly that's kind of flying around your ear, which in a swamp is normal. You kind of swat it away before you begin to hear in the distance
tickling my ear.
A tiny little voice being like, "Hey!" And it just continues as it's like getting closer to you. The two of you turn around. You see this tiny little person, about the size of, for lack of a better term, a G.I. Joe from like the 80s.
It's about 3 inches tall.
Yeah, about 3 inches tall, just with flapping wings that are almost invisible. They're going so fast, just heading straight towards you all. And just continuously saying, "Hey!"
By the woods, not another one.
Is that a war cry or
if no one reacts right away, it slams face first into Emmanuel and just crashes into his chest plate before it sinks into your boat and begins to cry and sob about how he got hit by a giant metal man.
Emmanuel, why'd you do that?
Don't make eye contact. They're just panhandling. Keep going.
Little person, are you okay? Kind of picks him up.
You pick him up. He's about maybe a foot tall.
How is your little bird going to handle Pan?
He is a waifishly thin humanoid, giant like anime style eyes that had been puffy from like what looks to be crying even before he had started crying after hitting Emmanuel. It's out of breath as it gets picked up. It's like, hey, hey, and he just like starts swatting at Emmanuel's hand before he starts flying on his own.
My name is Emmanuel. Do you know who Mariana is?
Wait. Could you say your last name in slow motion like that?
I'm not.
I don't know what that
I'm
is, but
gonna
I do
try. He doesn't really need to know.
It might be important.
It kind of like when
My
Emmanuel's
name is Emmanuel Depardieu.
Gordon closes his eyes and mutters to himself in Druidic, "Lightning, if you're gonna strike me, do it now."
like it opens his mouth as like looking at Emmanuel being like slow motion talking to him, like, you seem dumb. I'm gonna talk to you, and he turns to Afixa.
Isn't
Please.
that a bad idea? Give Faye name in stories, yes?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Too busy with that. I would do something with that. That would be fun. But no. He brought up a good point. Name, Mistress Mariana. She's ill. She's very, very sick. Can you help?
Yeah. Lead the way.
And like he points to a direction as he kind of lands on your shoulder, Afixa, like kind of like uncomfortably on the other shoulder of the cat, kind of like leaning up against you. And he's like, "Oh, thank goodness." Oh,
You said he's a foot tall?
yeah,
Okay. That's about a third of the height of Fix.
yeah. He doesn't care. He still sits on your shoulder.
Okay. That's a fair amount of weight on my shoulder. Where are we going?
He kind of like does that thing where he kind of just slides down into the off of your shoulder into the boat itself, and kind of just leans with its hands like leaning outward to kind of trail into the water. The voice itself is high pitched, which I cannot even pretend to try to do right now. But it speaks with a very sad tone. Like, no, the mistress, she's very, very ill. Death would have been a kindness, but you see around you the land is sickening with her heart. The lands can't be fixed until her misery is purged.
I don't know how to do it. That it sounds almost like this is
I was about to say sense motive.
Yeah. This creature does seem to be at its wit's end. It does seem to be actively looking for help.
What do you mean misery purged?
You all seem like you're looking for somebody. Are you perhaps friends with her human lover?
Not friends, but I think that's who we're looking for. The captain of the fort.
Well, he wouldn't want her left like this. I don't know what's wrong with her, but I can take you to her. Maybe you can do something. I've tried everything to cure her heart. She just wails in a forlorn anger. She wails and moans in the white willows. The trees, the plants, the nixies and frogs, everything is dying or worse.
That sounds like Faye. Just eat a salmon and get on with it.
Innuendo?
A what?
But yeah,
lead the way. If anything, it sounds like she's most likely to have the best knowledge of where we're finding who we're looking for, and somebody that's ill. We've run to that quite a bit recently, so hopefully I can think of some way to help.
Yeah, and he does begin to take you deeper into the white willows themselves. As you're going through, as you're getting deeper into closer to the white willow area, the death and decay of the area just seems to get more pronounced. And you're at a stretch of time where there's not a lot of trees around you, and it's just mostly like an open straightaway of water that you're kind of paddling through. and the sounds in the forest are completely silent.
So, Gork, is this normal for this area?
Not my territory normally, but takes more steps to the air. There's definitely not good going around. Some sort of curse disrupting the natural balance. I mean, Fae do that a lot, but this is worse than normal.
Yeah, as you are talking, you look around, like the quiet is like eerily quiet to the point like no animals making sounds or anything. And as you look around, you see what looks like tall robed figures in your peripheral vision. But as you turn, there's nothing there. The lot of you have seen this, all of you on the boat.
And
You're like-
again, this does reek of two-leg activity.
This song goes out to the mysterious robed men in my peripheral vision.
I want that as an album name.
As you're looking at them, like trying to get a better glance on them, all you can notice is their like skeletal claws kind of extend towards you. But as you turn, every time you see, it just looks like the trees themselves are reaching out to you with their gnarled branches. Though I will need you all to roll me a will save. This is a fear-based effect if you have any bonuses towards it.
Everybody would have a +2, I believe. Let me double check.
Plus 2 to this. 15.
Okay.
21 then.
Check something really quick.
Oh, +4. Everybody has +4 if they're within 10 feet.
And 23 then.
Then I would be 17.
And I'm immune.
Then I just need one from Pledroom.
All right.
Unless you're immune to fear.
I'm not, but I was just looking because I have something that I can do if I fail it. I don't know if it was if I fail it or if I do it beforehand.
Gotcha.
So it said will +4.
Okay, you're all fine. It's a little unnerving, but you all are pretty combat steeled with your skills and everything. So you've seen things like this before. Definitely some of the Fey magics of the area kind of playing tricks on you. You continue on.
And this is why you don't mess with the Fae.
You're aware he's right here, right?
Sounds like we're going deep in to mess with more Fae.
Yeah. What was the name of that little companion we had? She would have loved this.
I swear, before the end of the session of fixing him, and Rich is just going to drown Emmanuel.
So as you continue on, you all kind of see a natural pool of water in the center of these trees. Like the trees almost make a circle around them. And you're like passing through this area. The water here looks surprisingly clear compared to the rest of the swamp as you're passing through it.
That's probably where the alligator lives. Am I right, Gork?
I don't dignify with the response.
Manuel's nodding proudly.
Yeah, looking around the water itself, you see what looks like shapes of like old buildings in there almost. It's very eerie as you continue on. Anyone doing anything while you're in the area?
Definitely look down. Are there actual buildings down below?
Well, I'll tell you after you make a will save.
Stupid Fae.
I was gonna just be not looking down, but looking at any of the nearby trees and grasses and anything like above eye level for signs of disturbance or recent like movement through it. Because tracking's one of those things that's less footprints, but also like if anyone snapped a branch or something recently.
Yeah, no worries.
As a note, you're also get a +4 resistance against charm.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
So that'd be a perception or survival there.
That would be a survival.
So natural 1, but it's a +4 if we're not doing automatic failures. So that is still going to be a nice 21.
Gotcha. So you're looking for like any animals or anything that's moved through here?
Yeah, just anything, animal or otherwise, you know.
Okay. Well, so yeah, that will be enough to give you something, but I'll deal with the manual first, and then I'll get back to you.
Absolutely.
So, Emmanuel, you managed to resist the urge to stare deeper into this water. The buildings themselves don't look real. As you sorry, throat. As you kind of like look at it, and you kind of, I don't know, probably use either your hand or like a stick or something to kind of move the water or something. The vision of the building seemed to fade.
Illusions. More fake magic. I knew it.
And Gork, as you're looking around, you do actually see signs of movement as you've been going through here. I'm just kind of progressively going through from the previous thing and then to now.
Yeah.
Occasionally you see large like chunks taken out of branches, or like one of the trees as you've been pressing through looks like it's been hacked away to make some room.
Does it look
to
like
put it into?
Does it look like it was done by a flat-edged blade or by something like ripping a chunk out of it to make room?
A little bit of both, and depending on the locations. Definitely, it looks like something the size of, like, game terms, like a large creature. Has, like, isn't used to just traveling through a swampland, has just forced its way through. And you see this at several different places. So it looks like something had come through the Shimmer Glens a while ago. None of it looks like fresh, like brand new. But nonetheless, you make your way through this clear patch and continue on.
I lean back to Pledrum and say, "Hey, man thing, take your eyes off your fingers and keep looking around. I know you're unobservant, but there's something big around here."
As you ask him to look around, it does actually begin to. You notice that the mist has grown heavy as you've been passing through. And in this mist, you see translucent forms emerge from behind the trees. You see fae of all sorts: spectral satyrs, ghostly grigs, phantom nixies, all sprightly spirits floating around gently from the swamp, and they begin to circle around your boat. You see as they approach, they kind of are dancing, like sashaying around in a rhythmic pattern. Sorry. And as they begin to dance around you, you see ghostly animals begin to frolic out from the tree line as well, and just kind of make their way. The fae, these like spirit-like ghostly fae, frolic through your bow. You see some of them passing around you. Manuel, you see one of the Nixies kind of come up to you and like stroke your cheek as she passes by.
Little women.
Yeah, you see Yap himself is kind of like hiding underneath you all with like, I'll say there was a bucket in the boat that he's kind of using to kind of cover his head.
Wait a minute. Yeah, tell them we're on their side.
Nope, not talking to these things. Nope.
What's going on? What is this?
Speaking of, I will have you all roll a will save.
Is this fear or charm
No.
based? Okay.
Come on, no whammies. Hey, 20. Not bad.
You all managed to resist this death-like energy that emanates from these spirits as they pass through you, like eventually dancing to the point where they just kind of walk through your bodies, and it's cold and unnatural chill, but you manage to ignore it. But what surprised you most is your vision begins to clear from these spirits and the mist begins to slightly recede, you will hear a loud thunk on the end of your boat as you realize you hit something solid.
Land ho?
Actually, go to the bow and peer over.
You don't even have to peer as the mist begins to clear. There is just a large derelict ship just sitting here in the swamp.
Is it a boat?
It is a large boat. The vessel is badly worn and covered with a green moss, but is otherwise completely intact and looks to be a seagoing model.
Can I tell if it's an illusion?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception. It looks completely real to you.
How'd they get that in here?
Yeah, if you look around, is there any sign that this would have been able to, like, any sort of flood or anything that would have indicated that that's how this got here by instance?
I'll go ahead and you don't have to roll perception for this because there is no way a boat of this size would be able to get through these trees.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks like it was just like taken and plopped right here.
Is it fully submerged or is it?
No, in fact, it is actually still afloat, just slightly angled. Like you'd still be able to like stand on it like normal, but it'd be like one of those things like when you see like the boat shift in water and they like you see people have to kind of like walk slightly sideways as they're walking through a boat. It's like slightly that angle.
Yeah, he's magic.
Detecting magic on it is not magical.
Is it evil or anything within it evil?
Doesn't seem to be.
It's not illusion.
You see, this is the problem with your two legs boat. My adopted brother, Fish Fur, he tells me about this kind of thing. He says when you send stuff out into the middle of the lake, sometimes they get lost and end up in weird places.
This is an impressive method of getting lost.
Yeah, well, you need a stick to catch a fish, so I wouldn't put anything past two legs.
But yeah, Emmanuel, as you're like thinking it's not a illusion, you put your hand to it and it is solid.
Is it one where we could see the deck of it, or is it something we need to climb up to see?
You do see what looks to be like a deck on top that looks intact. You would have to slightly climb it. Not like a climb check. There's enough natural foliage that you could easily get up there as long as you have like a +1 to climb at least. Otherwise, you would have to make a climb check for a natural 1 effect.
Little Fay Man, how long has this boat been here?
I don't think I've ever seen this boat. This is new to me.
This could be a problem.
This doesn't seem unpleasant. Well, there's no way to sell it out of here. Not enough breeze, and
We can always see if there's anything on it to indicate what happened. Give me a boost, please. Did you look around?
All right. I'll give you a boost.
Thank you.
Gork just throws her.
Basically, that's what I'm going to do.
I'll do it.
Grab you
Easy
by the
enough for a
scruff of your
small
collar,
body.
your belt, and I just like overhand throw you up.
Shoot.
Roll me an acrobatics to land on your feet on the deck.
I got 18 strength and you're like 20 pounds. I'm pretty certain I can do it.
Yeah, as you throw her body goes like belly flop position as her arms and legs flail, and you just hear a thunk on the deck.
And then
Oh,
like
that wasn't good.
a full second passes, and you just hear Gork say, "Curl into a ball."
Little late, but good to know.
Come
It was
on,
a nice
Juan.
throw.
I
Let's
can't wait
go
until the
explore.
fastball specials start
Yep.
happening.
That just planted the seed in her mind.
Manuel's going to climb up and bring Juan.
Yeah. You scale the boat. Oh wow, sorry, hold on. That was my ear just popped,
Oh.
and everything volume went from 1 to 1,000,000.
That happens.
Whoa. Anyway,
It was like the
It's
time
here
I
in 3
got
dimensions now.
the time I got tinnitus in one of my ears. I was walking back to where I was staying, and every car that passed me on the road sounded like a thunderclap. It was crazy.
yeah. Oh, I'm good now. It just all of a sudden I was speaking and it just felt like my eardrum was rupturing there. But yeah, the first thing you notice as you get up to this boat is the wood itself is I'm trying to is a wood that doesn't seem to match any like wood that you know of in terms of the way it runs. It doesn't run in like, I'm trying to think. Like, instead, you know how like wood when it's cut has like straight lines that you can kind of see the textures of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. These ones kind of spin into like irregular circles.
Never seen wood like this before.
But yeah, this is like a 2-floor a nautical vessel. In modern days, it'd be ones that have like a whole like row of guns on the below deck.
Yeah.
Well, usually the good stuff's below deck.
I have a question, slightly out of character here, Richard.
Mm-hmm.
Gork's been around Ashwood for a while. He's probably looked out over the lake and seen that whatever, I forgot its name, but that pleasure ship that set sail from Turtleback
Yeah, the pleasure
Ferry.
barge.
Does this look like that? I've never been on it, but like from a distance, you can kind of tell a silhouette.
Yeah. Maybe in size, but it doesn't look in like shape or design. No.
Okay.
Emmanuel, as you're kind of like looking to travel through, when you go open the door, it kind of just the door handle kind of just pulls out as the door itself is rather worn and like weathered from the swamp, and you're able to just kind of swing it open. And the second floor is flooded completely. But what is not flooded is as you open the door, you see another door like down a smaller flight of stairs that goes into what you can only imagine is like the officers' quarters.
Yeah.
It does look like it's probably relatively intact.
Head in there.
As you open the door, you're greeted by the sight of a rotted corpse just kind of staring at you from behind a desk. It is definitely in design of like a captain's dress of what remains of this thing's clothing. It has the tri-corner hat, what looks like embroidery that has been on its clothing before. Some gems looks like they're still intact. He's holding what looks like a molding darkwood harpsichord. It seems to have some carvings embroidered onto it. And
Good.
what looks to be like a stack of papers that are relatively undamaged on the desk in front of him.
Do I detect magic in here?
You do not detect magic.
I'll investigate the papers.
Looking at the papers, it looks like a stack of sheet music.
Pledrum, anything important here?
Yes, you sing, man. Yes. Look at these.
So Mysterious Sheet is a kind of barge. We should definitely play it.
Roll me a
Spoke
perform
up,
check
what's
too, as you're like looking over these this like basically book of papers of music.
As a regional wild man, I have no context for reasons why that would be a bad idea. I say go on.
Yeah, this collection of music is completely alien to anything you've ever heard performed. Like just looking at it, it is very unique in its design, but it looks relatively well thought out, original music, and to the proper collector or musician or even noble, this could fetch a pretty penny.
Pirate shanties.
And I will say, looking at it, you're feeling rather compelled to play a particular song on there. So if you would like, you could try to perform it with a musical instrument using a performance check.
Yes.
I'm gonna sound in the background.
That is the sound that comes out of the lute when Pledrum goes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
sure.
My instrument's got a Hemi.
I call this one traffic from the future.
So you perform this one piece, and as you play in it, the music itself is beautiful as beautiful as it is alien. The fact that the sound that he's making with his lute is coming out of it is rather surprising. It still sounds like a lute. It still plays like a lute, but this music is so not even off tempo, just different tempo from anything any of you have heard. That it kind of enraptures you. This music is so beautiful in your eyes. It fills you with such vigor that, in a mechanical terms, the first time you hear this music, you have a +2 bonus on attack and skill checks for the next 48 hours.
Wow.
As for the next 48 hours, you're just thinking back to this performance.
Manuel has a single tear coming down his face.
Temp attack bonus +2. No.
I will say, since Pledrum, you know about music with those rolls, this collection of music could be worth probably like 5,000 gold if you were to sell it. It is that unique in terms of musicians' pieces.
Who was this guy to write such beautiful music?
Yes.
Canon now, through the fire and the flames.
I'm gonna make so many copies of this.
Good old Dragon Force.
But yeah, when you're looking through, the only thing else you find of note is you see underneath the desk that kind of fallen over, you see a silver goblet that seems to be inlaid with opals. No need to roll for appraise. This one's just worth about 100 gold pieces. Yeah, the garb that this guy's wearing, the gems themselves that are on what remains of the clothing are just ornamental. They're like basically glass baubles. His clothing doesn't look like anything you recognize. He's just very odd, random boat in the middle of a swamp.
Very odd.
Anything anywhere that would have his name on it?
Nowhere on the name. You look around the room. You see on the wall opposite of him, like above the doorway, some nautical charts. But the charts themselves don't look like anything you know of the Varisian landscape. Nothing you recognize in terms of location.
Yeah, they could be worth something to someone too, so I'm go ahead and take it.
Just write down alien nautical charts.
Mm-hmm.
But exhausting kind of your search here. There doesn't seem to be anything else other than unless you want to like go diving underneath the water.
Did you see if the ship had a name on it, or?
It did not. At least nothing you could see. As you
Less than normal two-legged boats.
as you leave and go back topside, as you open your way into the top of the deck, you all see a single white dog sitting on the deck watching you with milky blind eyes.
Where do you think he come from?
I don't know. It makes me hungry.
It stares at you all for a moment, and then you all, like, not even all at the same time, you all kind of just blink, and then the dog is completely gone, leaving no trace that it was there.
It's not like that.
Must have been a blink dog.
Did it look like the... oh, I see what you did there.
I throw picks over the side. I'm joking.
Did it look like those dancing animals that were around us earlier?
No,
Like
it does not.
ghostly dancing animals?
This one looked tangible
Oh.
for all the time that it was there in front of you.
I'll just stop right here and say, Richard, if those are moon dogs, I'm out of this fucking campaign.
Yeah. We'll also seppuku on the spot, and we'll get onto the Crimson Throne.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're gonna. If I put moondogs in a game, you're gonna fucking put up with them. Don't worry. You also have to remember these are my roles, not Loki's roles. You'll be fine.
Nope, still not worth it.
Actually, I have PTSD from those dogs.
But you do hop back in your boat to continue your journey, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Seems the way.
No, we spend the rest of our life here on this one ruined boat.
You begin to get to the outskirts of the center of White Willow. You notice that like Yap, he introduces himself finally. The little pixie man points the direction, and you see on the outside, you see the mangled body of a dryad, half protruding from a tree near the entrance. The limbs of this dryad have been smashed against the trunk by what you can only imagine were massive trunks or massive clubs. As you like passing by it, to go in towards the center, you hear soft feminine whispers in your ears, with tears. Like you can hear like the tears and sobs in their voice. And she says she should not have fallen in love. Her heart brought this upon us. Why won't she let us go? And you do realize that this is involving some kind of curse enacted by this Miriana of some sort that's corrupting the White Willow. But Yap does kind of like he speaks in hushed tones now as he's afraid that something might hear him. He's like, "We're here, my lady, awaits you within, but I dare not go any closer." As he begins to like fly backwards away from the center of the area. You see his body even like fly mid-flight, it's like visibly shivering.
Great.
Well, time to uproot a plant.
You travel inward. The tangled swamp gives way to a relatively large clearing You actually get off the boat to kind of like walk in like ankle deep waters. It's a calm pool of unnaturally still water ringed by decayed willow trees. The wind blows, but the trees do not sway as if the very land itself has died. You see a woman at the foot of a central tree in the center of this glade. She has her head in her hands and she's looking away from you towards the tree, crying in a sorrowful moan.
Oh no, I've seen enough Leopard Dead to know how this goes.
Don't startle the witch. And as you approach, even without making a sound, she seems to acknowledge your presence there. Give me a second. I have an image I was going to send to you. Give me a second. Sorry. That's not what I put. Sorry, I was. That was going to be a future question. I just kind of moved in my document, but it doesn't matter.
Lack of body hair, in case you were wondering to that.
Don't worry. I'm going to have to move that one way down. I have some more questions I'm going to ask you. I just have some generic ones when I can't think of anything.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
But yeah, as she turns to you, a haggard, ghostly horror of a nymph princess. Her disembodied arms float at her sides, exposed bone and sinew stretching towards her torso, but ever too far out of reach. Her lower torso fades away to smoke, savage, too cruelly to have any even definition in the afterlife. Her most terrifying feature as you look at her are the wells of hellish horror in her eyes. Her eyes itself seem to cry out silently in agony beyond anything a mortal creature could ever know. As you enter this glade, she points at you all in a hate-filled voice. She accuses you of failing to protect Fort Rannoch, of failing to protect Lamitar, of allowing the ogres of the Krieg ogres to take Lamitar, her love, to their lair high on the Hook Mountains. And like she just hurls these accusations at you before her voice trails off silently. She just kind of stares at you all.
We could bring him back.
If
We've
they
cleared out the fort from all the ogres. We could continue this quest.
Yes, we kill many Krieg when that fort when attacked.
The two legs didn't want to have to deal with giant Ken. They should have stayed in the lowlands, but
She as she listens to you, she bemoans the fact that the ogres came to take Lamitar and she was unable to save him. She speaks of that she knows that he is dead, but when she tried to reincarnate him, and she holds in her hand a locket that is very similar to the one that three of you had recovered from Fort Rannoch. She says that some foul magic has prevented his soul from returning to his new body. And begs you all to return, find him, and take a piece of his body and bring it to her so she can properly bring him back.
We will. Where's the den at?
She kind of floats her ethereal body towards you, Afixa. And with a single outstretched finger, she kind of puts her finger to your forehead as you see a flash of vision. You see, it starts like slow. You see the vision of the ogres arriving here, accompanied by a woman with platinum white hair and demonic wings. You see her slash down the human that was with her here. In a rage, you see this nymph having killed one of the ogres before she's held down by the other ogres, as one of them takes delight in crushing each of her limbs before the woman comes up and eviscerates her, and then slashes at her throat. From there, you see the vision of these ogres traveling northward, ever northward, up to some mountains, up into a cave before the vision vanishes, and you are fairly certain you know the way to the Hook Mountain clanhold.
You have my word that I'll do everything I can to make this right.
She as she like nods, she moves backwards towards her tree, and she says, "Return my beloved to me. Return my commander to my heart, or I shall find him with my vines, and my dark trees will eat the land and churn your people to bone and misery. Return, Lamatar, to my embrace." As she speaks that, her shade fades beneath the waters of the tree, and vanishes out of sight.
Well, that was not how I expected Faye to behave.
Really? That's
Yeah,
not what you expected.
I thought they were kind of laughing and giggly and playing tricks, and not the whole deathly, ghostly, sad parts.
Noelia was responsible for this.
She's willing to destroy an entire natural ecosystem just because she's sad. That seems pretty on brand for Faye for me.
I gotta take a bio break, guys.
No worries. This is probably a good time to just
Yeah,
everyone take a
so-
bio, get waters and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can't find this guy, kill this guy so she can reincarnate him, then we need to come back here and kill her.
Yeah,
Why don't we
seems
just
that
go
way.
ahead and kill her? Wait, we've got a jewelry box with silver locket that's holding some golden hair.
Yeah, it's probably hers.
They each had the others, so that
Yeah. It's all romantic and more shit.
And you gotta always have your plan for death.
Mm-hmm.
I just got life insurance on my wife. I don't need her hair.
It's not like in Pathfinder they don't have like hard evidence that there's a good afterlife or something. That's gonna definitely be something that my vigilante in Michael's game is gonna talk about because he's a follower of Pharasma. So it's gonna be like, you know what? Don't worry about the fact that I'm killing these people. If they were actually good people, Pharasma will send them to paradise, so it's not a problem.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, I think it will as well. All right.
So now we know where the Kriegs are and where the body is.
Indeed.
Or at least a fix it knows.
It would be a shame if something happened to her as you're on your way there.
Mm-hmm. Noelia did this, you say? I guess it's a shame we not stopped her sooner.
She stuck her hand in so much pudding.
And smeared it on all the walls.
Mhm.
How you think that's pudding, do you?
No, I do not.
All the walls except for a fix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I could keep making jokes, but I won't.
So your travel out of the White Willow and the Shimmer Glens is much quicker than the previous time. Doesn't seem anything is costing you as you leave. Maybe, perhaps the Mariana is keeping things at bay. But you're back, and the boat is still there waiting for you, kind of busying itself by fishing, as it is a fishing boat. You get back on the larger boat with the smell of fish wafting through the air.
How far away are we from the rivers to the north?
It's large. It's long enough that you probably would just have to go by boat. Sorry,
Gork,
for
I
Gork.
usually
Sorry to
don't-
say for Gork.
I usually don't do this with people that I've only just met, but would you like to ride my snake?
Isn't that? I mean, you do that all the time. That's how we first met.
Let's see.
I disagree, but
17 to grab Emmanuel. Probably flat-footed.
What am I looking for here?
Just
Your
flat-footed
minus your
CMD.
dex.
CMD is 25.
Minus your dex.
My dex would be 19.
So yeah, he
So
managed
he-
to avoid Gork's grab.
He
Yep.
jumps out of the way. Oh, hey! I was just gonna ask if you don't like boats, you can ride the snake. She swims.
I think I tried giving you a hug. It was a sign of appreciation, maybe.
Work.
Listen, if you keep trying to patch it, yeah.
Oh God, he's gonna blow.
Oh no! Yeah, and I just vomit all over
Shield up.
Emmanuel's legs.
Manuel's gonna hop into the water, swim over to Juan, pull himself up on the saddle, use his sleeves of many garments, change clothes, and say, "Fine, it was an offer."
Out of character, I do love it how you said, I don't do this to people I just met, and then Fix like, you said that to everyone.
That's why I gave it that line.
You're freaking paying people to give it away.
But by the time you get back to Turtleback Ferry, it is already late in the evening. It's been dark for at least an hour. So I imagine you find a place to rest. Many places will house you, or Gort can sleep outside. I imagine is his preference.
Yep. There's some trees nearby. I'll go there.
Oh yeah, easily done.
I mean, the beds here, they're not bad.
And then it's up to Emmanuel if he wants to convince everybody to stay here for a day to get his bow done.
Would y'all mind? I really would like to get to know you, Pledrum, and hear some of your songs.
I have no objection.
Oh, yeah.
That buff's gonna fall off, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Crazy Fey Wench is just killing the environment around her. But yeah, we can stay around and listen to some of Pledrum's songs.
Okay.
That's a good point about the buff, but I think it's probably farther than one day's journey to wherever we're going.
Actually, I can move.
Does
the
anyone
map.
know where we're going? Where the place she said is?
Gort probably knows where Hook Mountain is.
Yeah. There we go.
Behold, a name.
Afixa was given a vision of where it is. And keep in mind, this is 23 miles, and that's not going up the mountain.
Mhm.
once you get to the foot of the mountain, we're going to get into some fun adventuring up in that business.
Yep.
Well, I think we're going to need a day to check on our climbing gear then. Get the resources we need.
Your hands are still there, aren't they?
I mean, ropes and harnesses, belaying pins.
Anyone who would like to also make me a survival roll as well, by the way.
Sure.
As long as you're trained in it.
Shabam.
So Gork,
Plus bonuses that apply.
As long as we're what?
if you're trained in survival, like you at least have a point in it, or it's a class skill, you can roll it. Okay, so a lot of you know, especially Gork, as you're native to this area, so with all the bonuses and everything, it is going to be fucking cold on the top of that mountain.
Mhm.
We're talking into like the 0 degree or lower. So you're going to run into some checks as you're climbing the mountain.
That's why these furs I bought here on my character sheet give me a +4 bonus to cold weather.
But for a lot of you who don't have that stuff, you might want to consider getting said things.
Would anybody mind if I borrowed these? And she's referring to the gloves of climbing and swimming.
No, that's a great idea. Also, out of character, the ring of blink back and the 2 daggers. Does anyone else want those?
The blink back belt, you mean? That ring?
Oh, sorry. Blink back belt.
Because there was the
And then there's
2
3 daggers.
Yeah, there's the 2 daggers, 1 cold, 1 fire, and then a cold iron returning dagger.
And then there's the blink back belt that also can have the other 2 daggers be returning.
I'd like one of those daggers at least to have a melee weapon, if y'all don't mind.
I mean, I don't need any weapons, so
I am the weapon.
I am.
Rish, Fixa?
No, I'm good.
Rish, do you want one of them?
Not at the present.
Okay. I mean, I'll carry them all and put them on that belt. I mean, if somebody sunders my bow, that way I'll still have a dex range option.
Well, sounds like we need to go get some cold weather gear.
Yeah, I could definitely use some.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure exactly the cost of snow gear and stuff, or cold weather gear, without having to look it up. But you want to go and do that, they'd easily have that stuff.
Is the Kriegwood known for being swampy as well, or is that just?
It's just a forest.
Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely cutting through there.
Outfit cold weather +5 circumstance bonus on fortitude saving throws against exposure to cold weather.
And it is 8 gold for a cold weather outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Also, if you want an animal companion one, which I will say they don't have one for Juan because they don't have a snake cold weather outfit.
We're taking a snake to the snow. This isn't going to end well.
Yeah,
for him.
I was going. That's what I was getting to. Juan, when you're in the mountains, is going to take a -4 to fortitude checks against the cold because he is a snake.
Is there anyone in the town who could cast restoration, or we already asked that? And it was
You already asked that. The only thing they have is one person who can cast lesser restoration.
Yeah, that's all right. All right. Are there any magic items in this town?
There, from what you've asked around before, no.
Like a snake-sized ring of warmth?
Nope.
I guess I could cast Endure Elements on him.
I think he would greatly appreciate that. And also, so would my fanny if I'm riding on him.
Felix, you'll be good, right?
I enjoy the cold.
It's
It's brisk.
That's what I thought.
Also, he says this out loud in front of a bunch of people in the town, and they kind of take a start to the talking cat.
Bork is completely unfazed.
Yep.
My context of normal is different than yours.
Yes. Anything like endure element wise will make this negligible in terms of the mountain climbing. I will say, out of character, narration wise and stuff, you guys are going into a final dungeon of this book. It's going to be hard, and if you need to run in character, it makes sense to run.
Mm-hmm. They have
Emmanuel.
wands or potions for sale.
Do they have
Oh
what?
yeah,
Wands or potions.
I'll just let you guys
They
know,
would have maybe like 2 or 3 potions of just like normal cure wounds.
Fixa had 2 cure wounds potions, 4 cure wounds potions on her body.
Lucilla did.
Lucilla.
Manuel's going to ask around about Bitter Hollow. What type of town it is? Bigger, smaller? I guess we've walked through there before.
You did. It is a very small town. It's smaller than this one.
Rish, you can't make a wand of cure wounds, can you?
No. Could use, but can't make, no.
We definitely need some.
Pledrum has a wand of cure light wounds on him.
Oh, you do? That's
Suddenly,
excellent.
Pledrum is the party favorite.
We,
It's a bard.
over the last few months, we've burned through both of ours, so that would be very useful if we come into a scrape.
I'll keep that in mind.
No shit, that's why I have it, guy.
But the second day would complete, and Emmanuel, your bow would be enchant swapped.
Oh, sweet.
Orc never buys food. Every morning he gets up, he wades into the river, and then he comes back with 3 fish.
Speaking of, not that, but the chanting things. The automatic bonus progression would make Kenneth's materia system function a lot better, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically the same.
It's basically the same, but I don't know. It makes it a little bit more easy to transfer like just the the flaming stuff.
Yeah.
Then when you get to like transferring like +1s and +2s and stuff. I don't know. I was just thinking about it the other day. So unless there's stuff to be done at Turtleback Ferry, otherwise, you all can set forth.
Let's go kill some giants.
Mm-hmm.
I will ask, you're casting Endure Elements on one. Are you casting it on anyone else?
Myself, but probably anything more than that, I'd really need scrolls or I'd start digging in.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows, for future reference, since we're going into a dungeon, I do have invisibility sphere, so I can make us all invisible.
Good idea.
That is nice.
Need to.
My AC is also 4 higher versus anything of the giant subtype because I am a dwarf. So
Yeah, dwarves are really good against fighting giants.
yes, I tried really hard to replace a lot of the traits that felt like they would be like about being raised around dwarves, but I felt like there's lots of ogres and giants in this area that would probably still stick around.
Oh yeah, yeah. Around here, there's ogres, hill giants, trolls. There's a lot of things.
Yeah, felt natural.
Like, what was it? Like, you guys didn't go to the area with it, but there's also like a hill giant encampment nearby. But it's going to take about a day and a half to get to the base of the Hook Mountain. I forgot what enchant you were moving over, by the way.
Shocking.
Gotcha. Make sure you put it as a separate attack instead of adding it to the horn bow.
Can I do a survival check to shave any time off our trip through the woods by using a knowledge of good paths and everything?
Yeah, I can. You can shave it down to exactly a day if you want to. You roll a survival. Easy enough.
Mm-hmm.
You've been through the Kriegwood before. You used to keep out of it with the ogres and the ogrekin that were just unpleasant to be around, rather than actually being a threat to you most of the time.
Every so often, they'd probably go into Ashwood, and then we need to teach them a lesson.
Right. But yeah, what I meant to say, Cope, was make sure you add it as a separate bar of damage.
Yeah,
And,
damage, like damage 2.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because or I think there's a category you can put it where it doesn't multiply on a crit.
Well, I've already got that on my vital strikes. I guess I can just turn the 2d6 into 3d6.
Yeah, we can just treat the last of the 3d6 for that as the well, I mean, it doesn't matter with that, but yeah, for when it comes to damage reduction, we'll deal with that part as well. But for your normal attacks and such, just because there are things that have resistance to shocking,
Yeah.
and that way we don't have to worry about being like, okay, well, this is the damage. Now let's do the math. But yeah, you within the day are able to get to the edge of Kriegwood, or the north edge of Kriegwood, and able to rest for the evening. The forest here is relatively safe after the issues that have been arisen have been taken care of. Gork as well. You know this land, even if you haven't been through here as often as Ashwood.
Mm-hmm.
It's second nature to you at this point. Why does it say 7 electricity when it's a 1d6?
It's adding the 2 that I had on for attack and damage
Gotcha.
from that boon from the song.
Gotcha. Okay, I was just like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's weird.
But yeah, you're at the foot of here. Anyone who would like to make me a survival to kind of determine the best way to climb this mountain can do so.
I would argue that my +7 would be relevant here because it's avoid getting lost and to travel in weather
Gotcha.
and predict weather. So
Yep. So the two of you working together do indeed find a. You see what looks like hunting trails of the ogres. You think that these would lead most likely back to the place what they call home, essentially. And so you do shave quite a bit of time off of your travel. So anyone who doesn't have Endure Elements, which is everyone but Rish and Juan, need to make me 3 Fortitude saves. You all have a +5. You have cold weather gear.
all right. So that's 33 +2.
Lowest is 25 for me.
2.
So
Yeah,
I will let you know the DCs for this is pretty easy to figure out. First one's going to be a 15, followed by a 16, followed by a 17. It looks like Emmanuel failed one with a natural 1.
Yeah, I passed them all.
So
Fortitude's me good save.
So the only thing that happens to Emmanuel as you're going up, you take 2 points of non-lethal damage that can't be healed until you rest outside of the cold weather.
It is so cold. What are you wearing, Gork? Do those keep you warm?
Pledrum failed 2 of those.
Okay, so you take accumulated 3d6 of non-lethal damage. They can't be healed until you rest outside of the cold.
I'm good. You can keep that, actually.
Not gonna take that.
Yeah. Not interested.
I mean, that's typical bard players. They tell the DM what they want.
And they whisper it.
Whisper sweet nothings into the DM's ear.
Too soon.
Like that guy did to Alexa.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
So how are you all approaching? Because as you begin to scale the mountain, you do begin to see the outcroppings of a cave entrance. It takes you about 3 hours to climb this mountain.
I'll try to stealth up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get real low. Use the snow as cover.
Well, thanks for blowing our cover.
And
I was
it
going to
just
say,
goes
did
high
that come
gear.
from the cave?
And the
space trucker has
snow itself-
arrived.
The snow itself is falling, so anyone who's trying to look for you will take a -4 on their perceptions beyond 30 feet.
Oh my god, I only have a +6, but I got a natural 20.
I actually will bring you into the map as I have it all laid out.
Emmanuel's trying to see us, I guess.
What are you all looking at? There's the mountain right there.
So yeah, I'm going to roll perceptions on these fuckers.
Emmanuel, do you want to roll a stealth check, or are you just going to try to spot
Oh,
him?
I thought you was... now I'm very confused. Okay, I gotcha.
That's what I was saying.
And he's saying this out loud. What? What are y'all talking about?
Why is it so cold? I demand to see Mother Nature's manager. Does she not know who my father is?
He's gonna go all Karen on this shit. Y'all stay here. I'm gonna get this fixed.
I'm gonna make a high charisma character like that someday that just walks up to the dungeon and just completely baffles the monster by demanding to see their manager.
Well then, the only one that is stealth against these things is Gork. Actually, no, they're both natural 20s, so one of them even sees Gork. Wait, no, sorry, wrong thing. Reach is the only one that is hidden.
Pledrum.
Pledrum rolled it. Oh fuck!
He
I
like,
thought that was a 22, not a 32.
yeah. He's so stealth you didn't even see him.
Oh yeah, so Pledrum and Reach, you're managed to be you're hiding behind the rock that you can kind of actually see like right here and right here. So the placement kind of works out.
Yeah.
But a lot of the rest of you are seen, and I'll go ahead and describe as you enter this area real quick. The constant flurries of windborne snow and frost lash at the gaping hole of the side of the Hook Mountain here. Smoke pours forth from the cave entrance, only to be instantly dispersed by the wind. You see the two ogre fighters here standing guard. They seem to have been kind of lazily looking around with not too much to do. But as they see you, they raise their weapons in the air as it looks like fun has found them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess we came here to dance.
And keep in mind, these rolls you're making are for the initiative for the exploration as well.
Yeah,
Drum initiative.
Sorry, I was just over there later real quick. One, two.
Pledrum is ready to jam.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Pledrum, it's time to jam.
So if I still had the loot in my hands, but not in both of my hands, so like not using it as a weapon, could I draw something into the other hand just as the free action to draw it?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right. In that case, then Pledrum is going to. So the only people stealth right now are Reach and Pledrum, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and pull out. Or I'm going to do my Bardic Performance first, which will be a move action. And I will do Inspire Courage.
And they're going to have to add this again to their sheets because the other bardic you guys had is a little different. So what's the total that they get right now?
Yeah, because it scales with your level.
I added the buff to mine. I don't know if you can share that, but I have Inspire
Yeah,
Courage.
If you have it added to yours, I can just copy and paste it into theirs. Real
Yeah.
quick.
It's added to my buffs. It's a +2 competence to attack and +2 competence to damage.
Does it have to be within a certain range, or as long as we could hear it?
I believe it's still 30 feet.
Give me a second, and I'll add it to people's sheets real quick.
This just says perceive the bard's performance.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I guess that's different than Lucille's then, because Lucille's was definitively 30 feet, so that's handy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have it on Gorks.
Yeah, some of them specify 30 feet,
Mhm.
but I don't think Inspire Courage does.
I think because of Lucilla's being like, you're basically telling people how to fight.
Yeah. Also, it boosted AC, which most of the official stuff thinks AC is a pretty big deal.
What the fuck?
And then I will use a free action to pull out my Wand of Mirror Image. And pop that.
Sorry, give me a second. Roll 20 is lagging on me like a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Tends to do that with character sheets for whatever reason.
So,
I'm gonna have to, after I finish putting this on people's sheets, it's bad enough I'm gonna have to reload. So like it's bad enough where I delete a whole line of text only to have it immediately replace itself.
Oof.
You know what? I am just going to go to Firefox and see if it's any better because Chrome is being an asshole.
So 1d4 plus 3. Oops. Gonna roll that actually.
Nice.
I think if it's a wand, it's a minimum, so it's only a 1d4 plus 1.
Alright, so that would just be a 5 then.
Yeah.
Still good.
Yeah, 1 per 3 caster levels. Yeah. It's usually at minimum unless it's specifically
Crafted
stated to have
otherwise.
been made, yeah.
Okay. So next up, Afixa. I'm also probably getting lag because this is a kind of big map.
So I'm not complaining about 5 mirror images.
How tough is the snow here, or how deep is the snow here?
It's not gonna be difficult terrain.
Okay.
Like right up here, it looks like they've treaded on this area pretty
Okay.
well. So there's some like dusting and stuff because of the fresh snow, but it looks like they come out here regularly and just walk around the area.
Okay. And we're currently on the slope, right?
Yeah, you're basically like to get up to here, like you're gonna have to be actually on a tile, but
Yeah. All right.
to get up
Yeah.
to the lip, it's gonna be like 10 feet of movement.
Okay. So she'll finish climbing and then move a little bit away and move a bit further actually, no, I'll go ahead and climb up and then go here and just take a defensive stance, go full defense for a round.
Got it. Emmanuel.
All right. We didn't come here to talk, so it'd be 10 feet up. Then leaving 30 feet to go. And he's going to jump off right there and let Juan come up to... Actually, can Juan charge? No, because he already climbed up, right?
Yeah.
Let Juan go up there. Tell him to defend and then take a shot. He's going to invoke his swift action aspect of the tiger. And take a vital strike shot. See if this works. All right, the shocking is picking up damage bonuses, so take 3 off of that. It should just be 5 more.
I'm not going to worry about it until it gets to an enemy that has the resistance, and then we'll address it. So
Well,
I'll let you know if they have a resistance or something.
Okay, so should I add it into the normal roll? Because right now it's picking up my damage bonuses from the Bardic performance. It's not an 8. It should be a 5.
Oh, okay, gotcha. No. That is weird, but...
Well, it makes sense. It's showing up in a whole separate damage line. I could just add it in the top line as a plus 1d6.
Go ahead and do that, and then we'll address that later. Then I guess
Okay.
if it comes up, we'll.
So what's the matter?
It's adding the bardic to both damages rather than just one.
Yeah, it's not your fault. It's the.
Should it not be adding it to both?
Well, no, because one of them's just an addition to the damage of the attack, because it's adding it to the shocking damage and the piercing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay, I see. It's not like it's 2 different types of damage, but it would only add it once because it's 1 attack.
Yeah.
Either way, that's a solid hit to the guy.
I was thinking that it was like 2 attacks, and I was like, it would be added to both.
Oh, yeah. No, just 1 shot.
Reesh.
I'm just gonna pop over this rock and let off a crossbow bolt at the one that Manuel shot at.
That did, and that's a decent size crossbow shot.
Must be 10 piercing.
Oh, and I guess that should be 2 higher or whatever because the
Bardic.
Yeah, Bardic.
Yeah, so
I forgot to
you didn't have that added, then that's 12 piercing.
You know, Reesh was such a deadly shot.
Amiko's is basically the same thing, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
Is it 2 or 3 at this level?
2.
Okay, so I'll go ahead.
I think it's just
That
different
for
because
next
it's
turn.
attack and damage rather than AC.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you staying put though? Otherwise,
Yeah.
Gork.
All right. I say to Pledge Room. All right, you get that one. I'll get this one. Better get mine first, and then I'm gonna haul myself up over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
That's 10 feet to get up here.
Yep.
And then I'll move forward an additional 10 feet, and I'm not that unwise. I'm gonna do what Fix did, and I'm going to standard action full defense to boost my AC by 4.
Gotcha.
So I will use a swift action to extend my shifter's claws. So what that looks like is the hair around my hands gets much longer as the matted black fur appears, and my fingernails distend into bear-like talons.
Oh,
Got
shit. You're going to fight him barehanded.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird way to say thank you, Gork.
Goodbye, Juan.
So that one's going to run over that one, and this one's going to charge to this one.
Yes, my AC is currently 30 because +4 versus Giantkin, +4 from defending.
Damn,
Okay.
he wasn't lying when he said he was going after the animal companions.
So first attack against Juan, second attack against Gork. So
Okay.
against Juan,
Miss.
it'd be a 28 because he did charge. So
God damn it. Hit.
32 points of damage. as its ogre hook just swings and like gets right under one of the kinks in the armor.
I'm going to use Bolster Companion as an immediate action.
What does that do again?
I'm looking it up. Add 4 to AC and CMD.
There you go. Managed to block it. Second one against Gork. That'll be a
That'll
30.
hit.
It'll hit? Okay, for 27. Well, I wasn't sure because of all your bonuses against Giants right now.
Yeah, because my base AC is 22, plus 4 versus Giants, plus 4 from full defense.
Oh, so it just hits.
It only just hits. Which feels good that, it took a 19 to do that, but...
your AC's right up there with mine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I've got quite a sizable pool of hit points. I am going to, just for the hell of it, I could do this as a immediate action when I take damage. I am going to enter Blood Frenzy style.
God.
That did indeed piss me off. So he's going to regret that when my turn comes back around.
As I'm sure he will. It is now Pledroom's turn.
All right, free action. Continue the performance for everyone.
It is also worth noting that Blood Frenzy style does increase my constitution, so I just got some hit points back temporarily. So he swung his ogre hook and he hurts me, and then the bleeding stops because I just got stronger.
So that's kind of like a half rage.
It's the +2 to strength, +2 to con, -2 to AC, but no fatigue afterwards.
Yeah.
It's just a feat that gives me infinite rage.
And then I'm going to move action, secure that wand back onto my belt. And then second move action. Oh, I wasn't exactly on the grid there.
Yeah.
Five pledrums come darting out from behind this rock.
Oh shit, they're multiplying.
All doing different heroic poses as he charges.
Mm-hmm.
Bards, am I right?
They're actually all playing different parts of the song, so it's like a
Like an orchestra.
yeah, it's like a beautiful orchestra.
Fix it.
Right. She was going to go help Gork, but then seeing how angry he got, Fix is convinced that Gork has it. Instead of going to
It's like a
charge.
happy angry. He's like,
Yeah.
come on!
Yeah.
Really hit me, you inbred mongrel!
She's not going to interrupt that fun time. So Fix would charge and go for the attack. Charge adds 2 to the attack, right?
Yep, -2 to AC, +2 to the damage attack roll.
Single attack.
That'll hit. 11.
You guys haven't figured it out by now, Pledrum is an arcane duelist.
Oh, wand slinger.
Emmanuel.
All right, he's going to have one attack.
I forgot I had DR4 silver, so I would have taken 4 less damage from that last attack.
Yeah, that's one you want to remember.
Yep, I'm just not used to it.
That's pretty big.
It's one of the best because shit is hardly ever silver.
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly. It's very good. It's equal to half my shifter level.
All right, he's going to move over here. He's not flanking from that spot, right?
Let's see. No.
Okay. And he's going to use Broken Wing Gambit, which would make him look weak after his attack. And the ogre would get a +2 to attack and damage. And he is going to fight.
Hit. 20, and then constrict will constrict.
Oh, he's got him grappled?
Yeah.
I never thought
They're
I'd
big
get
old
the-
ogres.
Never thought I'd get the ogres.
And these are mook ogres.
Yeah.
And then the second attack still goes through after the grapple, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's dead. as it just bit into its head. Its whole head vanishes into Juan's jaws. It like constricts and like rips the head, and you hear a crunch and a snap as it just goes limp.
Spit that out. And he will take his shot at the other guy then.
That will hit for 29. By the way, make sure if anything's like minutes per cast and stuff, to record it somewhere because
long dungeon crawl.
Yeah, and once you're out of the initiative combat, I'm keeping it in initiative for the crawl. So if you get into a fight before it runs out, it's worth noting.
Yeah, amazingly, I actually haven't expended any limited resources yet.
I just bring it up because so far it's just the mirror images, but
I used my aspect of the tiger.
Gotcha. And then it'll be the next turn. So, Reesh.
Yeah, playing conservative with resources, so probably that's a miss. Unless they're really mooky. 17.
Is that counting the Bardic?
It is added in now, yes.
Okay, so yeah, that will miss. And to not be shown up, it is Gork's turn.
Alright, so I am going to full attack. So how this is going to work is I have several different varieties of full attacks, but this round I am going to do it to do the most amount of attacks I possibly can do at the moment. So I am going to be power attacking. I have a buff that already factors it in. So first, it'll be a full round attack with my unarmed strikes, and then I'll get 2 secondary claw attacks on top of that for a total of 4 attacks.
Go for it.
So unarmed strikes first.
So how are you getting unarmed and your claws? Because the claws replace your
Actually,
hands.
this is a thing because unarmed strikes could be any part of the body. It could be headbutts, shoulders, elbows, and when you have improved unarmed strike like I do, your unarms count as weapon attacks for rules. And according to the rules for natural attacks, if you do a full attack with a weapon, you can then use your natural attacks after, but they are considered secondary, so they use half your strength bonus for their damage. And they have
I believe they're like -5 or something.
And
like
a -5 to hit, yes. So they
Okay,
are
yeah,
weaker
that
and they're less
tracks.
accurate. So
that
but I have
tracks,
two.
and those both do hit.
So then here's my next claw.
That
I'm
hits.
just next claw.
Hits.
All right, so then I'll just claw damage 1, just the 16, not the 32.
Yeah.
And I did 16 each time.
64. Yeah, you do 64 points of damage to it. It is still going though.
All right. In that case, I will expend 1 minute of my lesser bear aspect. As you see that Gork becomes hairier all over his body. Not like complete fur covered, but definitely like a very hairy dwarf. His like forehead becomes a little bit more pronounced and like almost like caveman like. As his constitution goes up by 4 additional points.
There you go.
So that should help absorb the hit.
You don't have to worry about that. It is going to withdraw.
Oh, okay. So, how far is he moving?
That far?
Yep.
Okay, so I have the feats step up and following step, which lets
Actually,
me move 10 feet after it.
It will be up to this far, so 10 feet up would be like right here.
Yep.
Now, would he get attack of opportunity? Because
If he
the only
took
score
the
he
withdraw-
leaves.
Withdraw action, he would not.
But withdrawal in this, it's only the square you leave that doesn't provoke. So if you follow after him.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm looking it up right now because I'm not sure about that ruling real quick.
I think you're right, Loki, because that's why step up and following step are so big.
Because I'm like a full attack build, so I thought that was important.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone use it, so I'm excited.
I used it once with my sub character during Way of the Wicked, but he only got to be used once, really.
Yeah, because I believe it's
So yeah, he would
Oh, so he would provoke an attack then on the second.
Yes.
Then. All right. So here's the fun.
If you only had the first feat, from what I've seen, if you only had the first feat, it only triggers on a 5-foot step. But since this one triggers as a movement, yeah, you keep moving with it for 10 feet, and then he breaks through. So that will provoke.
Okay, so here's the fun part. You ready for this, guys? So an enchantment I have on hand wraps, Richard said could apply to my claw attack. And I have Fortuitous, which means once per round when I make an attack of opportunity, I can make an additional attack roll against the same target at a -5. So I can basically just take a mini full attack with just my shifter claw real quick.
Jesus.
So there we go.
Nice.
And it doesn't get that far as it is dead in the snow right here.
I just imagine it's just like a fix that turns around and it's just Gork snarls and like jumps at him and just starts tearing into him. And when he turns around, I just land on his back and just keep going.
You did 99 damage to that guy this round.
And the only resource I expended was one activation of my Lesser Bear aspect, which I didn't have to use.
Richard really hates animal characters now.
No, I knew what he was building when he started going into this.
Optimization!
Obviously, ending my performance.
Yep. Start powering down my buffs. I still have my Minor Bear aspect for a little bit, but...
And I will keep the mirror images on for a little bit.
Well, they stay on for 3 minutes, so it's only been 2 rounds, so you still have like 28 rounds worth of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like how my Bear aspect lasts 1 minute, so... And my claws are indefinite, so...
Yeah, I'm keeping track of the rounds.
Yep, no worries. But yeah, the area has gone quiet as you don't know if anyone heard you inside, but judging from the amount of wind, you think you're fine.
I pull myself up from the absolutely vivisected spinal column of this ogre, and I like wipe the gore from my claws off my beer. I'm like, whew, whew. Well, I think that went well. Told you I'd get him before yours, Pledrum.
So I added a mirror image tracker on there because every time it goes down, it'll actually reduce it by 1. So that way we can keep track of them between sessions.
Okay.
What do you mean every time it goes down or
Because watch, mirror image. Why did it go to 56? It's not supposed to do that, but
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a little wonky too.
Oh,
to
God.
set those up, if I remember right.
let me try this now.
You're gonna have to delete it and reset it.
Nah, fuck it. I was gonna try to make it work, but it's dumb. I'll figure it out later.
It's dumb.
Time is spinning.
It should work like simply, but apparently simple is too hard for Roll20.
Turns out,
Yeah.
subtracting 1, it's roll random 1 d100.
Pretty much. But yeah, as the you approach the lip of the cave, the mouth of the cave, at the mouth of the darkness, you see jagged spurs of bones protruding from stone on either side of the cave entrance, each towering 20 feet in height, apparently the ribs of some ancient monstrous behemoth.
Interesting.
Anyone who wishes to know about bones as they get approached, they can make an Arcana check.
Are we still in turn order? Or
Yes.
or-
Yeah.
Okay.
I just took a double move, so it would be Fix's turn.
So, Fix, it is your turn.
We'll follow suit and move in and just check out the bones.
Yeah, they are very massive. Again, each rib cave is like 20 feet tall. So again, if you have Arcana, you can roll that to determine what they are. But otherwise, you're at a loss.
I have nobility.
Nope.
It sounded like
This is a noble arcana, but not exactly.
30, 40. He's gonna jog up here, catch up, and see. And could it be nature? Does that have to be arcana?
It has to be arcana. It is why I said arcana.
Those are definitely a very large ribs of a elephant.
I've never seen an elephant. Have you, Felix?
Fuck's an elephant. I say from a distance.
I do not believe this is an elephant.
No, these are the bones of an elephant. I'm telling you all. None of you have seen one.
Your friend is simple, isn't he?
I don't have enough information to refute your statement, but I still somehow not believe you.
You do see that as you're all approaching, the ribs themselves have been decorated with crude carvings. Several of them have been incorporating a 7-pointed familiar star.
So you're saying I could use linguistics to identify the bones?
No. Reese, get out of the snow and join the party.
Oh, those are clever for a second. 60 feet, double move.
Got it.
I still look at the bones with the checker.
Yeah.
I actually have it trained.
Yeah.
Relatively
Well,
high.
I'd hope a wizard would have Arcana trained.
Mm-hmm. It's also a prerequisite for my prestige class. So.
Right. But yeah, these are bones of an ancient blue dragon.
Called elephant.
Maybe. No skull to ask dead. Also don't know that spell.
Well, this inscription here says made in China.
Where's China? Who's China?
I don't know.
I do know giant if it's in giant.
The carvings mostly seem decorative. They don't really have much language-wise. Seems that the giants living here have decorated the bones with crude carvings, but nothing language-wise. You might see the occasional graffiti that says like "fuck" or the equivalent in giant, but they don't seem the very eloquent type.
Yeah, that's ogres.
This giant writing says the word "fuck," and this one underneath in a different handwriting says "yes, please."
For a good time call.
This is what we call in the olden times sliding into someone's DMs. I mean, these are giant bones.
No, these are
Yes,
DBs.
they're
Dragon
dragon mortuary.
It is Pledrum's term, however, by the way.
Also, these rounds are still like 6 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm just keeping track for my bear form.
Narratively, if you're like talking and stuff, I'm not gonna like, oh, you can only communicate 6 seconds worth of stuff. But in game terms, they're gonna function as 6 seconds.
Yeah, I'm just keeping track of when the minute passes and my minor bear aspect fades.
Got it.
Because then my health will go down.
Are you there, Michael?
Yes. Let's continue down. What do I see? Anything else as I get down here?
As you approach, you see you do see an enormous statue that stands in like a frozen vigil at the entrance of this cave. About 40 feet tall. It's a 40-foot tall giant covered in black skins with fissures and cracks, almost like the bed of a dried river. It wears what looks like majestic-looking armor that's gilded and encrusted with gems. Like it's carved to look like that. It doesn't actually have gems on it. It grips a towering glaive and an armored fist, and the giant's face is hidden by a ferocious helm forged into a sneering grimace of a fanged devil. Around its giant neck hangs a medallion of a 7-pointed star.
A knowledge roll to identify who that is? Or is there
Uh,
a placard or anything like that?
You can roll a knowledge history or a knowledge arcana.
You want us all to just roll it?
You can if you like, yeah. Anyone who can see it.
I have neither of those things, so I will not. I don't imagine I learned much about the giants. I just killed them.
Yep.
Or tried to.
I've only got knowledge nobility.
Sorry, excuse me.
Arcana Rish?
It is a fix's turn if you wish to move or anything.
She'll just
I
move
did
up.
not have history trained.
I think he said history or arcana.
Yeah, you can do
It's-
either one.
Still not my turn. Oh.
That's fine. It makes more sense when they get closer anyway, so that's why I just have people do on their turns.
Does Pilgrim not have knowledge history? Or
Um,
knowledge arcana?
I can roll it.
He's more of a fighty bard rather than the
okay.
knowing bard.
Yeah, like I don't get the bardic knowledges of this archetype.
Gotcha.
Emmanuel.
I like how you said his name.
Emmanuel.
As Manuel.
You man good. Excuse me, it's Manuel.
Then you say, yeah, it's
Either way, get out of my house.
you Manuel, you plebeian. And then Pledgum goes, what's up?
Okay.
Everyone on your
Reach-
toes. We're entering the belly of the beast.
Quite literally.
So let's, I guess, do another arcana.
So you don't know much about what this thing is, but you do notice that the Sahedron medallion is an actual Sahedron medallion, just very large, sized for a gargantuan creature. But it looks like it could be taken off if you really wanted to, but it probably would weigh like 20 plus pounds.
Maybe on way out.
So when Juan is eventually killed by the overpower, we could preserve his body.
And
You're not
reincarnate
reviving
him.
Juan.
Well, if we
His soul moves
reincarnated
on.
him into something funny, just like a really disturbed and confused elf.
Who really likes to hug.
Gork's turn. By the way, the reason why you can't really see too much up these stairs, I blocked off some of the vision of it, is because they're high enough stairs that you can't really see the tops of them.
Yeah, I'm going to run if I can, so that way I can be here. Because
I'll allow it.
I'm a punchy sponge, so I feel like I should be closer to the front.
And you're still hyped up from all that fighting.
Yeah. Just to remind everyone, Gork is like visibly hairy and more feral looking right now, but he's not acting like it's a big deal.
Manuel leans over to Rish. Did he get really hairy all of a sudden?
Yes.
All
And
right, I'm
smellier?
Not know on that.
going to walk up the stairs.
Okay, let me go ahead and get rid of the dynamic lighting thing real quick.
Bottom, bottom, bottom.
Why is that?
Pink Panther thing?
Hold on. For some reason, you're not revealing. Oh, it's because Pledgum doesn't have light, and he's a human.
You can give him like
Kick
5
him
feet
out.
of light, or 5
Give me a
feet of
second.
dark vision.
Let me just make sure one thing, and then I can.
Yeah, I didn't have time to give you guys my seer slime. Help out with that. Maybe later.
Sis. All right, cool.
Okay. It's light.
So are we being? Oh, I guess we're not being too sneaky going in there as the beacon of light shines from the way you went.
Yep.
Well, I gotta see.
As you do. The only thing you can see from here, other than the stairs, ascending to the south, you see on the other northwestern side a deep pit hewn from hard stone. It seems to descend into darkness. Even from here, the wind that does blow through this cave, feel a reek of decay that wasps from the depths.
All right, I've still got some movement. Going to peek closer into this room.
Like you can't quite see in the bottom of the hole, but you can tell that something in there reeks of decay at this point. It's very strong.
All right, I'm gonna end my turn there.
And then there's a Fix's turn.
Fix would move up, and as she walks by, Gork would just kind of navigate by putting her hand on his elbow and use a quick lay on hands.
Excellent. +6.
Plus
Do you want
16, I
the?
think.
Do you want the? So you get 16 hit points, and do you want the additional 6 hit points, or do you want fast healing for 4 rounds?
I'll just take the additional 6 hit points.
Okay.
Fast healing 3 for 4 rounds, you get 12.
Yeah, but the problem is this is all overhealing. As soon as my aspect goes away, my hit points are going to drop by 25. So.
Other follow-up question: do you punch Afixa when she touches you?
No.
That's just Emmanuel.
She just brushed. You were choking. She just brushed my elbow.
You were joking.
Emmanuel.
All right. Move up. Keep on keeping on. He's got animals to his front and back. He's safe.
You're being very unkind, man.
Move up another 30 and activate my mage armor, so I look more like an Ankylosaurus.
Gork.
Are you able? Did you use a knowledge? Oh, okay, you did use a knowledge arcana on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Arcana revealed that the amulet is actually an intact amulet that's been kind of caked over with old stone and debris. So it looks like it was part of the statue, but it's actually not.
Gotcha, but no idea who the statue was?
No.
Okay.
All right, I move up there. Just double
Gotcha.
move.
You can't quite see up it because it's high enough that you'd have to actually get to this part before it reveals. Just FYI.
It would have to be the history roll to know who it is.
Here lies Steve.
Yes.
He died as he lived.
And then it is Pledrum's turn.
Going to step up here and look down this hole.
Looking down the hole, you see the walls of this hole are caked in like old soot. And with the light, you can see peering towards the bottom, though you can't quite see all the way to the bottom. It just looks like it's like a burn pit.
Like a burn pit. Okay. I'm going to just pick up a rock and cast light on that and throw it down there.
Okay, it descends about 100 feet before it clinks onto a bunch of burnt-up skeletons. You see some giant size, some human size, some animals. Very varied bunch.
All right. Well. Hey, Gork.
Just for the record, The other ones killed that ogre before you could even touch it, so that doesn't count towards your score.
But I inspired them to kill the ogre, Gork.
That don't count. You know it
Hey.
don't.
They would not have hit as hard or as accurate if it were not for my heartfelt jams.
Yeah, and that other ogre wouldn't have been breathing for a short amount of time if my claws hadn't ripped out its lungs.
Emmanuel.
What's as impressive is you actually did that. Like,
Yeah.
really.
I'm glad I could light such a fire in your soul, Gork.
Dun, 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 dun.
I do love it. Is both Michael and I took the same teamwork feat. Is we have friendly rivalry, so if we're not flanking the same target, we get +2 to hit target that we're not flanking together.
It's a little bit more specific than that. Like, if to get the bonus, you have to be the only one targeting the foe.
Yeah. But still,
So it's better against like mooks.
yes.
That's still good.
Yeah.
It's a fun one.
That is fun, especially for like the dwarf.
Sadly, only Afixa can only talk
Give me
to
Legos.
Rish now in non-verbal communication.
Right?
Well, I may take it for Juan. Not Emmanuel.
I just want to have that like Naked Gun style thing where they're telepathic communicating, and they just hear a hissing sound, and they're like, "Wait, is the snake in our telepathic gun?"
Yes.
Please kill Emmanuel.
Or
wish
me.
you
I'm
I
not
think
too
it's your
picky.
turn, Gork.
All right. So that's my first 15 feet.
Okay, so a couple things are going to happen.
Got to check for traps, didn't I?
Nope.
Okay, good.
But you do see a towering giant throw a rock at you.
Oh, excellent. So I am going to use my impact gauntlets. So it is a. Oh, it gives me the
Rock catching.
Yes. So.
So you all see this like wand-sized rock essentially hurl at Gork as he just puts his hand up, and the rock seems to shrink and just to be absorbed into his gauntlet.
Yeah. Yeah, it just turns into a normal rock.
Well, that was the thing.
And we're gonna roll some initiative here.
I thought we were already in initiative.
Well, I'm gonna roll some initiative here, so shut
okay.
up.
Also, just so you know, Richard, I
Roll
will take
double
it
initiative.
this time, but in the future, I do have to do a reflex save to catch rocks.
Not the Lunderbund.
No,
Yes.
the Lunderbund.
The Lunderbund descends.
Don't be afraid. Lunderbuns are delicious.
What's your dexterity
Look in the
modifier, Pledrum?
It is a +1.
Okay, so he is also a +1, so I'm going to give the victor to Pledrum. So,
Yes.
Pledrum, you're up first to see this giant hand. Just you don't see his whole body yet because just the angle you're at on the stairs, but you see the hand kind of reach over and hurl a rock at Gork, only to be absorbed.
All right. Going to start a bardic performance, people.
Oh, so I guess that was the end of my turn.
Oh,
So
sorry.
I moved
Oh, do you
15
have-
feet.
So you do have 15 more feet, and then your
Yeah.
action.
You
Sorry.
can go ahead and move if you want.
Let's see. So I moved an additional 5 feet there. That's like that does look like a hill giant, right?
You probably assume so, yeah.
Okay. You know what? No reason to hold this in reserve just for dramatic flair. I'm going to spend a standard action to activate my Lycanthrope Wild Shape. So that expends an hour there. As you guys hear the bones within Gork's body begin to shift and crack and reform as his hair grows thicker. His nose and mouth section elongates to become almost more canine as...
It should be the first of the two.
Yep. He
I try to
shifts
put him in
into
order.
full-on werebear mode.
And you're still medium size for that, right?
Still medium-sized. All it does is gives me a strength bonus and natural armor with no penalties.
There you go. As you all are now witness to the werebear. Then it would be Pledger's turn.
Now it's pleasure.
That sounded uncomfortable.
Right. Now we're gonna have a fight.
Going to inspire courage in my allies as a move action.
But I imagine I can still talk in werebear.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And then going to move 15 feet up. Oh, there he is.
Mm-hmm.
And since I'm going to stay right there, actually. Lots of giants. And that'll be the end of my turn because that's 2 moves.
Gotcha. As he's appropriately named, Lunderbun begins to move forward as anyone who speaks giant hears him be like, "You invade ogre territory. I defend me ogre brothers." And he begins to swing over at Pledrum with his great club.
That's a
And will
miss.
swing wide as it just crushes against the wall as it shakes.
Pledrum dodges, weaves.
From behind, you hear a couple other voices in giant. I think Gork is the only one that speaks giant up front.
You speak giant, yes.
You hear a couple voices. One of them says, "I go get help. You go run. Inform boss." He's like, "Oh, got ya." And they begin to move. And then it is the Fix's turn. As I roll some more initiatives real quick.
Alright. Let me see something real quick. Can I see him? No. Damn. Okay. Then I will double move here. And that's my turn.
Hold on 1 second. That will provoke as you're going through his threatened area.
Oh, okay.
So he will take a single great club attack against you.
That'll miss.
22 will miss.
Since I are provoked, he doesn't look too agile, so I'll go ahead and keep moving here and here. That's a double.
Gotcha. Emmanuel. For FYI, for Emmanuel, for shooting, you're going to have to at least be behind Gork to be able to shoot this guy.
Ah, damn it. That puts me within reach of being killed.
Well, actually, now that he's near the edge, I will say you could probably be at the bottom of the stairs here. Because he did move up to, like, right to the top of the stairs.
Okay. As far away as he can stay is good, so he will come on up. He's now within, what? Yeah, within 30 feet, so he's going to use point blank shot, deadly aim. He still has his aspect of the tiger ticking from outside. Giant Slayer. And he is going to use a... Does this guy look like not an ogre, like a bigger, kind of different giant?
He doesn't look like an ogre, that's for sure.
Okay. He's going to use a Giant's Bane arrow as he pulls it from his magic quiver that gives him exactly what he wants and takes a... God, this bluff sheet really lags you. Lags me.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a Vital Strike.
Yeah. To be fair, it's also the map being so big, it kind of slows things down too.
Okay.
That'll hit.
And then 2d6 more for Bane. I don't know how to add that in.
It's all good.
I wish we could combine some of the features of the 5th edition sheet and the Pathfinder sheet.
Being able to have like the variable damage.
Yeah, the variable damage on the 5th edition sheet is so good.
Like, and you know that the system has the capabilities of that, but
yeah,
no. Again, eventually, I think I'm going to try to next campaign I do for Pathfinder, I'm going to try to use the Foundry thing.
Mhm.
We'll see how it works. Because they're slowly implementing a API script that you can just have a whole compendium of Pathfinder stuff.
Yeah.
Are you going to have your snake move anywhere, by the way?
This is Bear Man?
That's me, yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to get in there and block him. Juan will guard my ass.
Gotcha. Reese, your turn.
Yes, scoot up to get an angle and try and shoot him myself.
That will hit. Wait, no, that'll miss, actually. As it hits him, but it just, like, embeds into him and it doesn't seem to do anything.
Oh, do you have his Bardic going?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bardic is on.
Take it off because
I gotta turn that on.
Then we'll go back to Gork.
Alright, so Fix is threatening, so I can't use Friendly Rivalry. I am going to 5-foot step up, so I can still full attack. And I am, this werebear form, I am going to scream in giant, rules of nature, he giant! This is bear territory now! I'm going to jump on him, so we're going to get, first up, 2 unarmed strikes, all power attacks.
Miss, and the second one will hit, but not confirm.
Okay, still 17. Then we'll get 2 secondary claw attacks.
Miss. And hit.
Alright. 14. And then a secondary bear bite.
That will hit.
For 16.
Okay. Just take a bunch of chunks out of this thing.
Mm-hmm. And my claws and everything are all silver and magic and yada yada yada, but I don't think that matters here.
No worries. Yeah, I'll let you know if there's anything like that come up. Okay, so some off-screen magic real quick. Give me a second. Double moving. Some bodies. And it is Pledrum's turn.
All right. Suddenly, all of his mirror images take an offensive stance as he 5-foot steps. And are we calling these 3 flanking or no?
No.
No? Okay. So then Inspire Courage. I'm going to Swift Action Arcane Strike. Wham bam. So Arcane Strike, and I'm going to go ahead and Power Attack as well. So 2 attacks with the loot.
Oh, that could be good for your instrument.
I love this.
It's made of not wood.
You guys are learning why Gork and Pledrum don't have weapons.
First one will miss, but the second one will hit as you just conk this thing with his giant ass loot. Which, have you explained how big your loot is compared to?
Yeah, you You need to
It is
link the
actually
picture.
the only reason I asked you about that, Richard, was because I was thinking about taking one level in Titan Fighter in order to get it even size category
That would
larger.
be amazing.
But the loot is actually normal sized.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I last time I heard you talk about the loot, you were talking about the ones
Damn
that
it.
are like full body loot.
I really wanted to see you fight
Yeah.
people with a cello.
But yeah, that loot does a solid blow to this thing.
Go El Capong.
Okay, Wonderbond. What is he gonna do? He is going to. Fuck, I don't get to do it often. I'm gonna attempt to go to Cleveland.
Nice.
I'm going to aptly try to hit Fixa first, and then swing around counterclockwise.
Yep, I'm a 28 to hit.
And
I'm just having to
Fixa's, I think,
mentally factor in
26.
the +4 to AC because there's no easy way to conditionally upgrade AC.
Well, it doesn't matter because the first one managed to miss a Fixa as he miscounts his swing to a tiny creature and swings wide. Okay, next up. Do. This one is going to take a throwing axe and throw it at Afixa. Will miss terribly. And then it is Afixa's turn.
All right. Yeah, I imagine she could hear a lot more people coming.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
You
so
hear like a cacophony of footsteps.
she'll use this opportunity to cast Bless Weapon on herself. And I think that's it for now. Yeah, I'll stay there for now. Nothing else I can do with the move action.
You could 5 foot step there, but then you'd be flanking with these guys.
Yeah, I'd rather not get caught in the middle of what's about to come. So
An ogre sandwich.
yeah, so she'll stay there.
Emmanuel.
Manuel, t'es parti.
Depart mute.
He will repeat.
Will hit.
With the bane arrow for another 11. And he's going to, as a move action, explain to Gork the finer techniques he needs to use in fighting a giant to give him both covering fire for +2 AC and +2 to his attack.
I know you've been doing this your entire life, but have you considered trying this?
Exactly.
Or just
Right,
telling him
bite off
exactly.
his
He already
giant nuts.
knows.
On it. Because you see, in the animal kingdom, biting each other's balls isn't stigmatized.
Is Juan just going to stay put?
Yeah, he's just guarding the back.
Gotcha.
That's a
This thing has a dex score, right?
Yes.
This. Okay, then that last attack would have been at flat-footed, but it doesn't matter right now. But
yeah,
it probably still wouldn't have hit, I don't think. But
the 23.
yeah,
Let me double check. It might. It's flat-footed. No, that would still miss.
yeah. Just so you know, the first attack always is flat-footed, and then every attack after that, they get a sense motive against my bluff check, and if they pass that, then it is no longer flat-footed.
Gotcha. What you doing, Reesh?
Nothing. Yep. Which I think probably still misses. 24.
Yeah, that will miss.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't see that roll for a second. Gork.
That bonus that you gave me, Emmanuel, is that a +2 to all attack rolls or damage rolls?
Next attack
Just
roll.
your first attack roll.
Okay. So I am going to power attack again. You know what? I'll continue playing the numbers game. Why not? So unarmed strikes first. Probably not the best.
Hit and hit. No, wait, no,
Nice.
hit and miss. Sorry.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, and then secondary pause, miss, and then secondary bite.
Will hit.
That'll hit. 12. Yeah, might need to not keep power attacking, but at least I'm getting some damage on the board, though.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. It got real quiet. Holy shit, that's a lot of...
Yeah, Rich, if you got AoE spells.
Yeah.
But the ogres don't know that.
Somebody's about to dance the fireball.
Okay, so one ogre is going to take an ogre hook against a Fixa. Will miss. One ogre is going to throw an axe at Pledrum. Or one of the Pledrums. So that would hit, but I'm just going to roll 1d6 and not count a 6 if it rolls a 6. So that will hit you.
Yep, minus 17. Unlucky.
But that was all the ogres, so that most of them had to just run in. And then it is Pledrum's turn.
Let me check something real quick. Okay. Ooh. There's a couple of things I could do. Let me see. Get him. Not that one. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cast, which will be an attack of opportunity. But
You're not going to cast defensively?
yeah, I'm going to cast defensively.
Gotcha.
Let me see here. I have a bonus thing. Yep.
I was going to say, damn, Pledrum likes to live dangerously.
I mean, he does, but not in this context. I know his past exploits.
All right, so I always forget how casting defensively works.
I believe it's caster level plus ability score, and then if you have defensive casting, you get a +4 to it.
Yeah.
Casting defensively Pathfinder. I'm just looking it up because...
You know, it's a bummer that Gogmer and Lucilla died, but looking at this encounter right here, I think it's really good we beefed up our front line for this dungeon.
Yeah. Big time.
Let's see. Concentration is caster level plus ability score you use for spells. And you're trying to hit 15 plus double the spell level.
15 plus 16, 17, 18, 19. Let me do the math here really quick. New character things.
You have defensive casting?
I was actually looking at...
Yeah, you have combat casting.
Yeah. Combat casting right here, which will give me a +4. So
You
what
have
is the bonus?
you have like a +17, I think. Because your charisma is you have a +90. So unless you get a natural 1, you can't fail.
Okay. So it's +9.
And you do have re-rolls, so no one's used any of those.
+19.
Yep.
All right. Wham bam. Thank you.
You cast defensively. What are you casting?
Oh, I keep the Inspire Courage going, obviously. I am casting... Where is it? Fireball. Blistering Invective.
Like the sound of that.
Intimidate check to demoralize each enemy within 30 feet of you. Enemies that are demoralized this way take 1d10 points of fire damage and must succeed at reflex or catch fire.
So against the enemies that are within 30 feet of me. 29.
Yeah, that's an intimidating bard right there.
Burninate.
And they can do a reflex save not to catch fire. Or
They automatically will take 1d10 and then reflex and not catch fire.
Yeah.
So let me see how many.
I love how you always make all of Pledrum's stuff vaguely heavy metal themed, Michael. It's great.
so 8 damage.
Okay.
And then reflexes from all of them. They are looking for
First ogre fails. Second
17.
ogre fails.
They're looking for a 17 to pass.
Third ogre fails.
Just falls
Fourth
down.
ogre fails. Ogre superior passes.
Success.
And then
So-
finally Lunderbund.
Also
Success.
So they take half damage.
So all the smaller ogres are
No,
on fire.
I think they all take damage. The
They all
ones
take the
that
full
succeed
damage.
to save don't catch fire. The rest are on fire.
Did they take more damage from being on fire?
Yeah, damage every
as,
round.
as per fire damage.
So everyone but the good ogre and the whatever the hell he is, he's on fire.
Mhm.
The small
The
jump.
one in the back isn't on fire, but he just sees all his friends erupt into flames. Like, oh, what?
As they are all demoralized too, it means to take penalties.
Mm-hmm.
If a character catches fire, they take 1d6 points of damage immediately, and in subsequent rounds.
I'm going to rule that immediately with the 1d10, but yeah, 17 rounds they take more.
Okay.
Let's see. Shaken for one. Or both.
What system was it where catching fire was?
That was Dark Heresy. Is that if
You
you caught
die.
fire, you basically just died within a round.
Yeah.
All right, and that is my turn.
Because
Gotcha.
you had to do like willpower rolls to just act at all. Otherwise, you literally just ran around in circles and took like a shit ton of damage and died.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lunderbund is going to focus all its energy on Gork because y'all been hurting it. So it's going to
28.
make
Got.
a full attack against you.
All right, see what happens.
21, 26, 23.
All of those miss.
And for some reason only rolled 2 damages, but it doesn't matter, so. Yep, as he just swings and swings and swings and just can't find purchase. And it can't even back up because this place is crowded.
Yep.
Burning now.
It's not even completely agility either. Some of it is just like Gork like shoulders the club out of the way because bears are stupid durable like that.
This one throws an axe at Afixa
That'll hit.
for 16 points of damage. He's yelling at all the ogres that are on fire. He's like, God damn it, we've been over this. You do not crowd the corridors.
Stop burning, you cowards.
I command you.
Fire,
My turn?
being on fire is a state of mind. Get over it.
Seeing all of them crowding in, Fix will kind of look over on her shoulder and say, Felix, do you think you'd help out?
And he would indeed.
Nah.
The cat leaps from her shoulder and explodes like a warhead.
I haven't made a token for you, but I'll just bring over the cat token.
Okay.
Because I imagine you're not going to use it as the cat form.
No. But I would like this to be, 20-foot cone. So I would like this to be the effect that should hit all 5 of these guys with that breath I sent you.
Let's see. So you all witness this cat begin to shift into a small silver dragon as it breathes a breath of what looks at first like a cone of gas. And I need to have them make fortitude saves.
One trip to the Feyland. I'm watching dwarves turn into bears, cats turn into dragons. Everything's fine.
Ogres are rolling.
That's a fail.
Yep. So this one's paralyzed. I'll just mark it with a blue. Next one. Passes.
Success.
Next one after that. Passes. One directly in front of you. Passes. And then the last one I think that hits is the superior, correct?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Passes. But
At
one of
least
them
got
did manage
one.
to get paralyzed.
For, was it 1d6 plus 1? Oh, 1d6 plus 1 for each category.
For age category of the dragon, so it's with 1d6. It's a pretty young silver dragon.
Oh, for 5 rounds is paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as my turn, I will go ahead and full attack the main guy there.
Go for it.
Let's do power attack. Do you have your bardic performance going?
I believe he does.
Yeah,
It does.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
Right. And then, yeah.
Ooh,
And,
damn.
crits would automatically confirm anyways, but I imagine 33 would still confirm.
Oh yeah. Either way, even without the crit, you just like in the middle of it, just swinging away at Gork. You just take the opportunity as it's leaned over to kind of reach forward, and you like stab forward with your scimitar into its neck as it just tumbles over dead.
Don't worry, I got him. Was that just the first attack that finished him?
Yes.
Could the second one transition to this
Yep,
guy?
it'll hit and do 17. And successful round. Are you guys assume you're done now?
I'll do a swift action lay on hands of myself.
Gotcha.
And I'll take the sanctuary.
Gotcha. And then it is Manuel's turn. From that angle, the only one you could target is already down, so you'd have to move up to target anyone else.
All right. We'll move up to here. Can he see this big one?
Yes.
All right.
I'll allow that one.
Regular arrow. He'll take a vital strike, point blank shot.
Actually, can I take a 5-foot step here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna move that body out of the way for now, anyway.
Okay.
Deadly aim, aspect, bardic bluff, giant slayer.
That will hit 25. I imagine you just have Juan keeping with you.
No, I've got to tell him to guard Rish.
Gotcha. Speaking of the lizard folk,
yeah, I was gonna do this either way. I guess I can see all of them now.
mm-hmm.
Guess I can also put that one further back. So I guess I'm gonna drop black tentacles on this square here.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, these ogres have heard the legends. The fucking nightmare stories.
Mhm.
The black tentacles.
You said you were gonna have it right here.
Yeah, so that's 20 on all of them.
And unlike the vines, the black tentacles only affect the actual radius of it, not outside of it, right?
Right.
Okay. I mean, I can get up inside these ogres' gills and punish them.
That being said, Pledger is going to point at this one and say, "Go for that one, Gork, and I'll give the other one to the side."
Yeah.
So 26 to grapple.
Yep, they are all grappled.
Yeah. You take the paralyzed one, Pledger. I see how it is. More fun for me.
And you take the one I lit on fire.
Fellas, there's plenty for all of us.
Yeah, so they're all grappled in there, you said?
Yep.
Yep.
I make direct eye contact with this one, and I point with a single bare-clawed finger, and I just go, "You!" And I move forward. I can only make one claw attack because I had to move 10 feet, but that's not a problem. I will power attack it, because why not?
Oh, yeah.
34. 19.
It's hurting. It's about to hurt even more after it gets the fire damage.
Yep.
So let's see. They all take another 3 points of damage, because why the fuck not? They're on fire and covered in tentacles.
If any of these motherfuckers actually do hit point damage to me, I'll only get stronger.
Something tells me they're not going to give damage to anybody.
Probably not.
So they can try to put themselves out of being on fire, but if they don't, then they will take the d6 damage.
Yeah, they're going to try to break out of the tentacles first.
So should I just roll the damage then?
Oh, I rolled the fire damage from the...
Oh, okay, I see. Is that what the d6 is?
Yeah.
Okay, so they all took 3.
They don't take a d10 every round. They catch fire, so they do damage as per fire rules.
Mm-hmm.
But they all took...
Oh, yeah.
It's not big damage, but it's done to a lot of enemies.
So these are all going to try to escape the grapple.
Yeah, 2 of them made it.
Let's see. So the one in front of Gork and the one in the very back are no longer grappled. The one that's no longer grappled in the back is going to run away.
I look at the one that escaped the grapple in front of me, and I say in giant, "Run! I dare you!"
He doesn't have many places to run, but yeah, he is going to try to run, and you get a free attack because
I get 2 free attacks.
There you go. I'll tell you, if you hit, you only need the one.
These will be at +2 because I forgot to turn
It don't
on.
matter. These are the biggest mooks here, so he is dead.
The mookiest mooks. With a cream filling.
He turns his head, and I just rip his throat out. Why were you listening to me?
All right. At this point, I'm just going to end the performance.
That's fair.
I don't see why waste the round, and we pretty much got these guys handled.
Yeah. Does it linger any, or?
I don't think he has lingering performance.
No, it's just ends when it ends.
Okay.
A good feature feed option, though.
We'll take Inspire Courage off.
I think I've only got about 2 more rounds.
Unfortunately, no friendly rivalry like I had hoped. So I'm going to 5-foot step.
Get your
And power attack, it is flat-footed if it has a dex score.
Don't forget you get +2.
It is paralyzed. It is helpless against you.
Friendly
Okay.
rivalry as well.
I don't think I get it because you're not targeting anyone.
We don't have to be. We just have to not be threatening the same one. I don't think we have to. Is that how that works? I don't know. Doesn't
Either
matter.
way, if you wanted to, you could probably just coup de grace this thing.
Okay, but I want to roll damage.
Well, I mean, you have to anyway, so.
All right.
On a helpless
And then-
target, you automatically hit and score a critical hit. As per coup de grace, and it has to make a fortitude save for 10 plus the damage dealt, which it is not going to score a 58 fortitude save. So you just kill that one.
This thing's head just fucking caves in to the loot.
You know, I really enjoy playing Lucilla, and the support build is still very fun, but After so long in this campaign, it is very satisfying to actually get kills.
Yes.
Also,
I can
because if I remember correctly, Manfred didn't get a lot of kills either. He did damage, but it was always Steery who was kill stealing.
That's the advantage of building for damage with a bow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This guy's gonna try to get out of the grapple,
Yeah. And makes it.
and he's going to go ahead and move over here.
Big mistake. That's within charge range of Gork.
And Affixit, it's your turn. You do hear a lot of other ogres kind of being corralled over here now.
Fuel. Lift up. Oh, yeah, there's a few more over there. 2, 3.
That'd be a terrible restaurant, Ogre Corral.
Now I can't charge it now.
You know, you come for the wings, but you stay for the inbreeding.
Am I able to stand here?
No.
Not even for small?
It's all good.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about it. It's not that big of a deal.
Alright, I'll move there. And go defensive, since I can't really do much else.
Gotcha. And before Emmanuel goes, I will say probably call it here. It is mid-fight, but you're going to be in for the long haul in this thing here. And we could easily go for like another hour easily with just the amount of mooks we have on screen right now.
Yep.
That's
cool.
I will say, go ahead and level up to level 10, as y'all have earned it.